we are controlling transmission. If we wish to make it louder, we will bring up the volume. If we wish to make it softer, we will tune it to a whisper. We will control the horizontal. We will control the vertical. We can roll the image, make it flutter. We can change the focus to a soft blur, or sharpen it to crystal clarity. For the next hour, sit quietly and we will control all that you see and hear. We repeat, there is nothing wrong with your television set. You are about to participate in a great adventure. You are about to experience the awe and mystery which reaches from the inner mind to...
Middle Georgia, this is the Morning Roast from the Doghouse, featuring your dog members here, your raw dogs, Irving Martinez, Ed Einbinder, and Derek Barrett, where we give you 3 hours of heaping helpings of news, weather, sports, and entertainment, and other intellectual pursuits. Oh yes, and action. And out. Live in the Morning Roast. Good morning, Macon, Georgia, Middle Georgia, and everyone else around the world through the World Wide Web. This is the Morning Roast for Manic Monday, August 19th, 2013.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, everybody. It's glad to be back.
And he's back.
Hey!
Derek's back.
You couldn't.
Looking good.
Yes.
Looking shaved. Looking happy.
They couldn't keep me back.
Yes. Not for too long.
Yes.
Not for too long. But it's good to have you back, buddy.
Yes. How was Friday's show?
It was okay. Anthony came in the last hour.
Oh, all right.
So he came around and kind of ended our show.
Oh, okay. That's good.
But it was pretty good. It was good to have him back, but it's not the same without you.
Okay.
It really is. So it is good to have you back.
Mm-hmm.
And tell us, what the hell is the problem?
Well, Thursday, I thought I had just a mere sore throat. Right. I just, just queasy, had trouble speaking and talking, that type of thing, especially when certain...
That's pretty normal.
And it just got worse as days go by, even as the day went on, and I was trying to watch some Thursday night, try to watch Impact, TNA Impact Wrestling on Spike TV, and if those who
there's a correlation in it
somehow.
We'll
in case you didn't know, Bully Ray got this World Heavyweight Champion title back from Chris Sabin.
Bully Ray,
yeah.
Bully Ray.
He beat him, Tito Ortiz, the former MMA fighter, came in do little work, I guess recreation R&R over at Impact Wrestling.
So they wrote the script for him to win. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
And
so Bully Ray gave it all his bullshit
to Chris Sabin, and he got his title back.
Yeah.
And then I went to sleep, and then I just, oh no.
So you were so excited that you exploded a vein in your throat? Is that it?
No, it wasn't. No, it's. I was man. What am I? I'm gargling like about salt water. Basically tap water and salt. So that's what they tell you to gargle with. I've been going gargling left and right, and then gargling back down with some Listerine. I said, "What is going on?" I was like, "I know I don't have tonsillitis because I got that done and over back in '97."
Yeah.
And then it got worse, and I tried.
Derek Gargoyle.
And then I just said, I think I need to. I think I may need to go to the emergency room because it feels like it's like about to close up my throat and stuff.
Yeah. We some of the viewers thought it was strep throat.
Strep throat?
Yeah. Yeah.
Probably is.
Well, Rudy says you still think pro wrestling is real.
Look.
Yeah, it's real.
Really
bullshit.
entertaining. Yes.
Yeah. All right.
It was really entertaining. I know.
Good morning, Vorpal.
I'm gonna wear a T-shirt that I saw that was really funny. It was like for the perfect occasion. I'm gonna one of these days I'm gonna get is called "Wrestling is Real, People Are Fake."
Yeah.
But anyway,
I think you're down there, buddy.
Uh,
I think you're down. I saw you up and now you're down.
oh, okay.
Yeah, just make sure that your computer's on. It looks dark.
Yeah,
So it's still on?
yeah, it's on.
Yeah, well, good to have everybody back. Good morning, DS Photo Guy. And we got Smell My Finger on, Snowparks Too Much, Vorpal and Rudy 4. I guess Michelle and all these other folks should join us in a little bit. It's been quite a morning.
Yeah,
already.
Very big morning.
And we got a lot going on, and we're hoping that we'll get to most of this shit this morning. But it really is good to have you back. It's good that the show goes on.
Oh yes. Those that I found out the later my diagnosis, I just had a really terrible abscess, and that I was having trouble me swallowing and even spitting too. But anything below the nose I couldn't do on my face. Those babies just had to smell, sniff, and see, blink. That's about it. They gave me some medication that had, they gave me some steroids. I mean, I haven't had any side effects from it, even though I'm able to change a tire without a jack. So, I'm kidding, people. I'm kidding.
Oh God. Anyway, we're gonna start this morning out with some sports news, just to kind of salivate you a little bit.
Okay.
I guess that's the right word, right?
I guess.
Salivate? No, whatever. Anyway, the NFL is going to, and actually this is a story that you sent. It's going to ban customized face masks.
Yeah.
And the NFL continues its crusade to make the beloved sport as boring as possible, as it has banned customized face masks for players not receiving medical clearance. CBS Sports reports players hoping to show a bit more flair and style in the form of customized face masks will have to make do with the same ones used by all the other players. And the website reports NFL spokesman Brian McCarthy sent an email to NFL.com asserting players will need medical clearance if they want to look truly original out in the field. So players like Darnell Dockett and Robert Mathis, who simply wanted to look cool and far more menacing, will have to settle with what they're given.
Yeah, I was talking about that face mask thing. It's quite strange. I don't know why. You want to get people in the seats, right? So why not do it like that? It's a twofold thing. People are going to be curious about it.
Yeah.
And two, you're going to get people in the seats, and plus it's supposed to be a safety. It's supposed to be, just protect yourself.
Well, yeah.
And plus that one mask, it look kind of like Bane from that last Batman movie, The Dark Knight.
Yeah, it does.
Returns.
It does.
I'm going to sack you, quarterback.
Well, here's the thing. Maybe one of the reasons why they're doing this is because if you look at these masks, they look like they cover up a lot of shit. It doesn't look like the guy could really see through that mesh.
Well, except for that little area for the eyes,
I think that's a lot, don't you think? How the hell are they supposed to see anything?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe that's the reason why. I don't know. Well, look at that.
Yeah, that's one of the guys from the New York Giants. He has what's his name? John something?
Yeah.
Justin Tuck from the New York Giants. They had a preseason game last night against the Colts. I'll probably get into that later in the show when we get into sports.
Well, he's gonna get his. He's gonna be allowed. It says.
Yeah.
It says that means it says we feel your pain, big guy, because there is a general hope these days the face mask will begin to pop up. But before we continue, it's important to note those players who need to customize their gear for medical reasons are allowed to do so.
Yeah.
That means Ravens Chris Canty and Giants Justin Tuck will get to wear their special mask. Face mask fueling apparent jealousy around the league. So why are they wearing it?
You got me. I mean,
I don't get it. If they're gonna ban it, why is he allowed to wear it?
I mean, unless he has like the medical okay for it.
Like for what? They don't do. What's the medical reason? What would be a medical reason?
I would say maybe if he had like a broken jaw or something like that and wired, and some other player might try to go for his jaw, like that, go for his head. But they already have rules now, particularly in this becoming season, where you can't use your helmet as a weapon, because a lot of people been hurt by it. Like I remember back in the early '80s, Ron Jaworski. Those who knew, he used to be a quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles.
I remember that name.
And then, basically, just this guy just when they were playing against the Dallas Cowboys, and he just basically bore his head into his side, his ribs, and just like a freaking battering ram, like when
they're not allowed to do that anymore.
No, they do, because they put people in
what
hospitals.
What about spiking somebody?
Yeah, well, you can spike a football, but you just can't spike a person. So basically, you just got to use your shoulders and stuff. You just can't use just your helmet, solely your helmet.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. Well, let me see.
They want to keep them
that sounds like my girlfriend.
Rudy.
Let me see.
Headbutting folks.
Pro football players are prison thugs. Do not trust them 1 inch. They will turn it into abuse. Boy.
Check the arrest report.
Right away, Vogelbach gets on and he slams his freaking typewriter and he writes 2,000 things already.
This is what kind of sportsman uses his gear as a weapon to harm people?
Check out the arrest report, he said.
What kind of well, hockey players do, but they have the sticks, and then they also wear shoulder pads. But that's Rudy Ford says 60 players per roster and 32 teams. It's called football.
It's a little much.
And he says, sorry, I'm a football purist. It'll get to be too much and stuff. And like, just be menacing on the damn field. Forget about forget what your helmet or face mask is like. Just be menacing on the field. I agree. I agree with you on there.
Speaking of menacing on the field, Kanye West on July 19th beat the crap out of a paparazzi. Let me just say this, really briefly. I don't like Kanye West. Most of you know how much I can't stand that son of a bitch. But I have to say, the paparazzi are completely out of control, dude.
Oh yeah.
They're like,
no doubt about it.
They're vultures.
Vultures with cameras. Yeah.
With cameras. And you should see how some of them behave. You almost wish you had a bat beat the shit out of most of them.
Of course, I mean, you seen the thing that they had over at Capitol Hill, where you had Halle Berry and Jennifer Garner both talk about they're tired of paparazzi taking pictures of their kids all the time.
Kid.
Yeah, because
and she got scared and said the little girl, the daughter, said, "Mommy, they're gonna kill us, or why are they trying to kill us?" Thank God I don't have that problem.
Yeah.
With fame comes that.
Yeah, that's
too much.
Part.
So Kanye West won't face felony charges after being accused of attacking a photographer in the LA airport, but he's not completely off the hook yet.
Okay.
Kanye apparently wants to marry Kim Ye in a cheesy, over-the-top ceremony. Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office said Friday It is declining to prosecute the rapper, but his case will go to the city attorney for possible misdemeanor charges.
Mm-hmm.
In the July 19th incident, West scuffled with a member of the paparazzi who staked out the airport to snap celebrity photos. Video showed West lunging at the photographer's camera and trying to wrestle it away. Prosecutors say the photographer did not have a significant injury, and it's unknown if his camera was damaged. They also say no weapon was used, and West doesn't have a felony record. That's surprising. But anyway, they got pictures of him beating the hell out of the photographer, and looks like a Chinese guy. He had no match against Kanye.
Looked like he was trying to Kimbo Slice the dude, man.
Yeah.
Just trying to give him the KFC toothpiece special. Blah, 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 blah. Just
Made him look like a fortune cookie. No, but you know what? I mean, look, these paparazzis are terrible. They're really, they start snapping pictures like this in your face, and it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And they're really looking, and look at what happened with Princess Diana.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, there's a story on that, new revelation.
Matter of fact, I'm glad you told me that. I got that story.
Yeah, why don't you bring that up?
Oh, I certainly will.
We're on a roll, baby.
Okay. Recently, there has been a UK police checking on new information on Princess Diana's death. In London, British police say they are examining newly received information relating to the deaths of Princess Diana and Dodi Fayed, and that officers are assessing the information's relevance and credibility. Scotland Yard declined to provide details about the information, saying Saturday in a statement only that the assessment will be carried out by officers from its Specialist Crime and Operations Unit. The force stressed that it is not reopening investigation into the 1997 deaths of Diana and Fayed, who were both killed in a car crash back in Paris. In 2008, a British jury ruled that Diana, the Princess of Wales, and her companion Fayed were unlawfully killed due to recklessness of speed and drinking by their driver and by the reckless pursuit of paparazzi chasing them. That's what we have.
Terrible.
And
You know, it's really sad. You know what the last words Dodi Fayed told Diana?
well, what was that?
Actually, he told his driver before they died.
What?
He told his driver, "Get in the car with me and die." So,
Ouch.
so
Hey. Okay, yeah, go, yeah. Cool. As well, actually, I forgot to even talk about the weather. Well, you know, it's 8:26 a.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time in Macon, Georgia.
Yeah.
Live from the doghouse of the morning roast. It's 72 degrees and really, really cloudy. It looks like it's going to be raining all week long.
yeah, it's I'm expecting some trees to turn over.
Ready for the video?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, we got a video. Bring it
A
on
brutal
up.
A brutal car crash in a dark tunnel chased by paparazzi. Princess Diana's death in 1997 was a violent tragedy. Conspiracy theories abounded, including an allegation that she and her companion, Dodi Al-Fayed, were murdered by a member of the British military. But multiple investigations by both French and British police dismissed that. A judge-led inquiry in the UK concluded that her death was an unlawful killing caused by the gross negligence of the driver of her car and the vehicles chasing her. But now Britain's Scotland Yard says they are scoping new information on her death, assessing its relevance and credibility. According to the British Press Association, the information allegedly comes from the parents-in-law of a former British soldier. This comes just weeks after the birth of Prince George, Princess Diana's grandson, third in line to the British throne, the son of Prince William and Kate Middleton. For many in Britain, the image of the young family brought back warm memories of Princess Diana with the newborn Prince William in her arms. August 31st will be exactly 16 years since the death of Princess Diana. Now, this new information, whatever it may be, will almost certainly reignite controversy around her and speculation about how she died. Atika Schubert, CNN, London.
Okay, thank you very much for the video, Ed. That was from Atika
go.
Schubert from CNN News.
You know, I agree with you, DS. DS, it was stupid for them to speed away from this paparazzi. But I think it had to do with the fact that Princess Diana, even though it was world-renowned, everybody
World
knew
famous,
she
yeah.
was betting that guy. But I don't think she wanted to actually get caught doing that, I guess. I mean,
Well, you mean basically you want to keep it on the down low?
yeah, on the down low. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like, yeah. And it was, yeah, they weren't going to keep it on the down low too long, but,
Yeah.
because there was already speculation. But it wasn't like DS also says, it wasn't like an assassination attempt. But it was kind of very aggressive as far as the paparazzi.
Yeah, I
were
think it
concerned.
was kind of sound more like it just feel like it was kind of a setup in a way.
Yeah, and the driver was drunk.
Yeah.
No doubt about
That's
that.
true. And if
Yeah.
everybody does this Princess Di pissed on the royal family, makes sense to me that the SAS killed her. I guess that's what the Secret Service or some British Secret Service.
Well,
or something?
you know what, Volberbite, they pissed on her, please. They ran that girl in the ground. They, you know, all their pompous ass bullshit that they carry.
Mm-hmm.
And that queen is cold as a fish. A dead fish in ice. Yeah.
Mhm.
So, I mean, thank God for her kids. For Princess Diana's kids. Because that whole family's so freaking screwed up. Dysfunctional with that stupid queen. By the way, that whole name Windsor was like made up out of the blue. That's not even their real last name. The grandfather came up with that shit.
Mm-hmm.
The House of Windsor. The hell were they before then?
Something. But,
That's some bullshit.
I mean, because they do have some relatives in Germany. I mean,
Yeah, they have the Shah or the Tsar, whatever, of Russia.
Yeah, and also Queen, somebody who was Tsar. That is true.
Yeah.
And they had some relatives, German relatives, so they had to make it something sound more Anglo-Saxon like Windsor, because especially prior to World War I, because you can't be fighting Germany and you got kinfolk there and you got like Hassenpfeffer or whatever as your name. You had to, of course you had to change it to Windsor. I mean you're in a war and you fight.
Yeah, it was during the war.
And you had a German name, but you fight in Germany. It doesn't make sense to like.
Could you imagine you have the audacity to say, "Hey, I'm going to change my name,"
Mm-hmm.
and then live
That's
up
true.
to a name that doesn't exist?
Yeah, Topher
Yeah.
says the queen is German and her husband's Greek. Yeah.
Yeah.
Weird, isn't it?
Yeah, the queen was from the House of Hanover. Yeah. Yeah, they manufactured Hanover that.
Mm-hmm.
Or they manufactured the other one.
Oh yeah.
Remember
it's
the bank
funny,
manufactures Hanover?
Yeah, that's true. I was just thinking
The
about
House
the
of
weather.
Hanover.
It's been cloudy. It's going. According from my thing, it's going to be raining all week. There's going to be some thunderstorms and some showers. I don't know how deep the showers, but we had a serious one yesterday. It was just pouring.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
Yeah.
it looked like a tropical storm hit us.
Yeah.
My concern is the trees are going to topple over.
Mm-hmm.
Especially that one over that trailer house over there.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That thing looks like it's ready to crush that thing any minute.
That's
Never
true.
know. See it on the news.
Yeah, it's 72 degrees, by the way, Megan, with a high of 84 and a low of 72. It's 84. We're in the 80s. Stuck in nothing wrong with that. I mean, the 80s was a very good decade, at least for me.
Yeah. Tomorrow we'll be in the 90s, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good decade, wasn't it? 80s
Yes.
is a better one.
Yes.
And Diana struggled with drugs, I think. Didn't she? Or depression? God only knows.
Well, I mean,
knows if
who
drugs
knows?
were
Who
involved?
knows? But I mean, obviously she was. I mean, she was undoubtedly depressed, no doubt about it. I mean, she had paparazzi all over, and then,
Yeah,
plus,
she was banging soldiers here and there. And
well,
doing
she was
all
banging
sorts
soldier because her husband was banging Camilla.
Yeah.
She didn't exactly
of-
call
Well,
her.
Alfred E. Newman.
She called her, she didn't call her the Rottweiler for nothing because she looked like she chewed a couple of bones in her time, just, she's not she's not the most
she looked
aesthetically,
troubled.
not the most aesthetically pleasing person in the face.
No, she was. She was. You could tell her problems were written all over her face.
Woo.
She felt as ugly as this guy. Charles.
Yeah, she had a face for radio, as they say in the TV business.
Prince Charles goes against every idea of what it is to be a prince. They're supposed to be good looking, not look like Alfred E. Newman from Mad Magazine.
Level, we got to hear to this thing called Life.
Well, that's another prince.
That's a whole other prince, another story.
And by the way, speaking of drugs, and we're gonna go one more movie star, one more star, before we move on to regular people, local news.
Mm-hmm.
But did you see the interview that Lindsay Lohan had with Oprah Winfrey?
No, I didn't get a chance to see it.
I will say this, so help me God, I never thought Lindsay Lohan was that pretty.
Mm-hmm.
In this interview, she looked hot. She looked real pretty. I couldn't help but to keep looking at her.
Mm-hmm.
And she's come out of rehab. And Lindsay Lohan says this time it's going to be different.
Mm-hmm.
And in an interview that was aired on Sunday, which was yesterday, I saw it last night, with Oprah Winfrey, the trouble-prone actress declared that this, her sixth stint with rehab, was put her on a path to recovery. It took a half a dozen times, but hey, Lohan says she's in a different headspace now, whatever the hell that means, and vowed to stay present and clear-headed and focused. I feel whole again, she told Winfrey, and I have a desire to keep this feeling and stay this way, and I'm willing to do whatever it takes. Lohan completed her latest court-ordered stay in rehab in July, and she must continue therapy until late next year. She acknowledged an addiction to alcohol, which in the past was a gateway to other drug things for me, but she offered no specifics other than cocaine, which she said she used no more than 15 times. If you're so freaking high, how are you going to keep count?
That's a good question. That's a very good question. And more than just 15. You talking about 15?
You don't even remember half the
15
time.
times. You talking about 50? She must be talking about like 15 times a day or 15 times a week.
Oprah?
Lindsay Lohan.
Yeah, Lindsay Lohan.
Because I got a video about Oprah and the N-word.
Oprah and what?
And the N-word.
Ooh.
Oh. Well, we can go into that. And, we'll segue into that. Winfrey asked her what she's on these days. Lohan replied, vitamins. And,
Flintstone vitamins.
yeah. Vitamins that have a lot of...
Tell me it's strong and snorting.
Lortab.
Yeah.
Lortab vitamins. Exactly. Percocet vitamins.
Lortab chewables.
Yeah.
And OxyContin. Anyway, you're not on any prescription drugs, Winfrey asked? No, Lindsay Lohan.
Hell, I am.
Then check this out. First she said, no. Then she says, I take next year. Because of acid reflux. Clad in a form-fitting orange dress, which was hot. I didn't know she had such big breasts. I never realized that.
Yeah.
You could tell she had no bra either. They were kind of hanging.
Yeah.
They were just hanging out.
I don't know.
She said the comfort level with her past chaotic life has fed her much reported partying and her brushes with the law, but she added that she takes full blame for her mistakes. The interview aired on an episode of Oprah's Next Chapter on Oprah Winfrey Network, which spotlighted Lohan next year in an 8-part docu-series. based on her life. What the hell's the difference between a documentary?
If that bitch never got in trouble, I would never know who the fuck she is.
Well,
Really?
Oh.
you know, I have to
I guess
say,
you'd ever seen Mean Girls or what? That new. Well,
I don't like mean
not-
girls.
Well, neither do
I like
I.
nice girls.
So do I.
well,
She
I
was.
have watched that one show.
The-
There's something girls.
She was in that movie, The Parent Trap. They did a remake of it back in 97, 98.
yeah.
That's how I knew
That
of
was a
her.
big,
Bad Girls Club.
yeah, Herbie Fully Loaded.
I like that show. Man,
Good
she
morning,
made
you're
each
right.
other. You ever seen that?
A little
Girls
bit.
trying to lose weight.
Yeah.
You know, so they like slip sugar in their diets to make them gain weight and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
Every
she
day.
said one thing that was encouraging that the interview ended, I have to say, because what happened was she got out of rehab 4 days according to the time this interview was done, right? And Oprah said to her, you know, I'm really concerned about your planned trip to Europe.
Okay.
And she said to her, you know, you ought to think about it because you go to Europe, that's like party city over there, you know?
Wow, really?
And would you believe that 2 days later, Lohan canceled her trip to Europe? So, you know, that kind of made you feel like, well, maybe she really does want to change.
Okay.
You know, so give her a break. And she was in that Cliffside Malibu thing where they say, you know, it's 100% success or whatever number they put on it.
I see.
There's a picture of Wubba Light.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, let me see. There's a new one. There's Vorpal Bite. Yeah.
Oh.
Morning Vorpal Bite. That's Vorpal Bite with
Yeah, they're
blackface.
famous, all right.
Yeah,
Looking
man.
good.
Yeah.
Well, we got a new guy, Topher.
Vorpal loves it. You make him famous.
Yeah, man.
By the way, I was watching, guys, for those of you that may have been on, I was watching Mike Vaughn's channel last night.
Mark Vaughn.
Mark Vaughn. And I noticed that you were on there, Yurak. What the hell was going on? He's just staring at the screen and adjusting stuff. What was going on there?
Maybe he was working again. and people
He
were
was
just
working
chatting.
on something.
I noticed a lot of these people play music,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and they're totally oblivious to the people that are on there chatting. And the
Well,
people
they
are
don't-
chatting about something going on halfway around the world. So.
Wow.
Well, they don't give a shit like we do. We care about our chatter. All right, well, somewhat.
All right, today's the final day to register to vote in Macon, Bibb County.
Oh,
If you
yeah.
haven't registered, register.
No. Okay, he was
Vote for
streaking.
Irving.
Mm-hmm.
I dropped out.
They
Anyway,
could do it right.
was working on pop-out chat.
Wouldn't that piss Anthony off if everybody did a write-in and you got more votes than Anthony?
Wouldn't that be? I mean, I think David
Man.
Houston was mad that I got more than he did. He got 4% in the mayor race. I got 6%. What are you gonna
That's something. You didn't even really run.
do? And
Yeah.
I didn't really run. I didn't do anything.
Well, I got a quick breaking story here. It says that the rudest drivers drive BMWs. How about that?
Wow.
Hmm.
That
You heard it
doesn't
first
surprise
here.
me.
Travis.
That doesn't surprise me. Vote for Anthony. Yeah, sure. Anyway, you got another story here, Derek?
Yeah. Matter of fact, let me go
I
ahead and find one.
I got some local shit too. So
Let me see if I can try to. I'm trying to get.
Say,
I had.
actually there was a somebody was killed this morning. A Macon man was hit by a car on Log Cabin Road
Oh.
or
Okay.
Drive, right? Macon man was dead after he was run over by a vehicle on Log Cabin near Gratson Drive Saturday night. According to Bibb County Coroner Leon Jones, 26-year-old Johnny Vasquez's body, about the only Hispanic in Macon, is now dead.
Other than you.
Other than me. His body was found on the road shortly after 9 p.m. near the entrance to Sam's Club Shopping Center. Jones said the driver was still on the scene when he arrived, and some witnesses say Vasquez was walking in the street when he was hit by a car.
Mm-hmm.
Probably drunk. According to the coroner, the Macon Bibb Department had to jack up the vehicle to extricate Vasquez's body. Macon Police Department is investigating the incident. There you have it.
Okay.
Wow.
Some serious stuff going on.
Yeah.
Speaking of,
he was jacked up, all right.
oh yeah,
All jacked up.
very jacked up. I had some other stories. I think just by Upson judge says the ticket backlog causes a 37-year-old citation controversy from Shanti Tager. Says Upson County probate judge Danielle McCrae says a newly discovered backlog of unpaid tickets and bench warrants is the cause behind a Michigan man only now hearing about an unpaid traffic fine all the way from 1976. Gary Packenham of
Give it up already.
Muskegon, Michigan says he was driving through Upson County in Plains, Georgia, working as a staffer for Jimmy Carter's presidential campaign back in 1976. He says he was stopped and given a traffic ticket for driving without a license. Packenham says he thought he paid the fine and forgot about the incident until recently a collections agency contacting him telling the ticket wasn't settled. Packenham says that he thought the incident was funny until he found out there was a bench warrant for his arrest. It says, I don't have a checkered past. I'm pretty proud of my past. And to have a bench warrant is something that's not, it's a little unsettling, he said. I'm at risk for going down there to do business, and I have to do some consulting business in Georgia in the past 2 years. And Upson probate judge Danielle McCrae says an email that after her election into office at the start of the year, she and the new sheriff Dan Kilgore were welcomed by a huge amount of unpaid and old bench warrants. And after that's how they found out about this citation. And after months of sifting through the cases, McCrae says she discovered numerous bench warrants not set to the state's driver's license division for failure to appear. And just recently, all outstanding cases were referred to a collection agency. McCrae says the collections agency is also something new in Upson County Probate Court. McCrae did not elaborate how many cases she has sent to collection or how many warrants have been issued, but she did say she is in contact with Packenham and the two are working out his case together.
Wow.
I mean, 37 years, that's, I mean...
No, isn't there a statute of limitations?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Is there a statute of limitation? I mean, after, 15 years,
Well, 1971?
76.
That's over 30 years.
Yeah, 37 years.
They're 30 years over. Isn't
Yeah.
there like a 7-year statute of limitation?
Depends on what it is.
Yeah.
Some it'll be like 8, some be like 10, some be like 12. I mean, after 20 years, this, you may have to let it go.
I don't know. I think these people need some kind of electroshock. Speaking of which, that's back now.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. It's now being put back. The patients are rolled away in gurneys and into small screened-off areas at Park Royal Hospital every 15 minutes with assembly line regularity. One is a woman in her 60s who, like others, gets a momentary jolt of electricity sent to her head, causing a brain seizure, and her body to tense for several seconds. The hope that this treatment, the electroconvulsive or electroshock therapy, will ease the symptoms of her bipolar disorder that has so far not responded well to drugs. These days, the treatment goes by its more clinical-sounding acronym, ECT.
Okay.
That's probably short for like electrical or electric.
Well, electroconvulsive therapy.
Yeah, ECT.
Or ECT.
Whoa, that's a 50-cent word there, Derek.
Yeah,
Bam.
really. When you bring it up, most people say, oh my God, not ECT.
Yeah.
That's something from the past, Mazarana said. Simple procedure, safer, and it's a lot quicker than medication. Electroconvulsive therapy today is a procedure widely accepted by the medical community and one absent of rare court order that is done with patient consent. But it also is a treatment that lingers in the public imagination as a crude medical holdover, almost as dated as bloodletting. Bloodletting is what? I guess, letting blood drip out of your body.
Yeah, in a way, yeah. In a matter of
Isn't
speaking.
that called blood transfusion?
Well, blood transfusion is basically you're getting new blood inside you
Right.
in an IV. Bloodletting is basically they just cut you and just let it go like you get bit by a snake. They just
I see.
they just let the
Isn't that what
blood
George
drain.
Washington died of? He died of syphilis, I hear.
No, that's he died of tuberculosis with a compound of strep throat.
Oh. Better watch it, Derek.
Mm-hmm.
Wind up like
But I don't have TB either, so I'm good.
Anyway, the Park Royal, the only inpatient psychiatric hospital in Lee County, Florida. This happens in Florida, folks, by the way. Does it surprise you? You know, they ought to take Florida and chop it off and let it float away. I mean, that place is a dump. You know what's wrong with Florida anymore. Not even a state. Not even a state anymore. It's like
I'm sure a lot of people
it's
want
like
to
a
do
big
the
penis place.
Yeah.
Kind of hangs there.
How you doing?
I mean, I bet you a lot of people want to say the same thing about California. Let that just float away into the ocean or something.
Yeah, Florida's always been medieval. Yeah, you're right, Bite. Oh, I see. Horny Boy says, good morning, Horny Boy, by the way. I hope you're not too horny. But bloodletting is when they put leeches on to suck your blood out. I see. Saibuki also said it. He also says use of electric shock.
That's right. How your dick hanging? How your dick hanging?
Used to be electroshock therapy is not the greatest, but now they can do small parts, not just the whole brain. Yeah.
That's right. How your dick hanging?
Yeah, they use maggots also.
Ew. Yeah.
Yeah, they use maggots, like to clean bones and shit like that, you know?
Really?
Clean the
Ugh.
flesh off.
Wow.
Maggots and
I'm
leeches.
getting the willies.
Maggots and leeches.
Really?
Tara.
I guess this is like when the body's already dead or something, or what?
No, the body's alive.
Yeah, he says
No,
on
actually,
burn
they do.
victims.
They have. Don't you remember Tarzan? When the guy got bit by the snake and they used the leech to suck the venom out?
Yeah.
You never watched Tarzan?
No,
Nah, I
thought
missed
it was. I thought it was kind of biased.
Yeah, I never liked that scream anyway.
I mean,
I
the
never
stream
liked
was
Tarzan.
cool, but I just thought, man, this kind of
Guy
stupid.
running around naked.
I mean, one white guy is walking around all the jungle, able to talk to all the animals. Meanwhile, black people been living in Africa for thousands of
forever.
years, and I ain't heard not one damn conversation with a freaking giraffe.
Yeah, what was so special about that white guy?
I don't know. Maybe he had
Looked all clean and
Fruit
everything.
Balloons. Yeah. How do you able to be clean and you live in the jungle?
Yeah, he had to wait for that blonde girl to show up in order for him to have a mate. He couldn't marry an African girl.
Yeah, that is a good question. Yeah.
I guess he didn't like black women.
Yeah, Tarzan's a swinging dick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't believe in the squirrel.
Yeah. Then he had he had a monkey as a friend, and what else?
Cheetah. Yeah.
All the animals he could talk to, and
Mm-hmm. So basically, it's like, well, what do I need to be here
Ridiculous.
for? I don't need.
What you talking about, Where's
yeah. Oh, by the way, firefighter says in the old days, bloodletting was performed by physicians. It lowered blood pressure and therefore calmed the person. Same effect as a tranquilizer does today.
Well, of course, because you let blood out. My goodness, you'll be lightheaded. Of course, it's going to make you calm down.
Yeah, that's true. The monkey was named Cheetah. Tarzan.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he couldn't even tell the difference between a monkey and a cheetah.
I rest my case.
Yeah.
That's
You
why.
can call him monkey. Come here, monkey. It's like naming your dog. Hey, dog. Come here, dog.
Come here, monkey.
But it named
Come
him
here,
Cheetah.
Come here, cat.
Come here and
Yeah.
play with my monkey.
Yeah, but come on, you got a
Spank my monkey.
you got a monkey named chimp actually. You got a chimp named Cheetah. That's like it's like having a dog named Ostrich.
Yeah. That's true. Oh, he didn't have
Fresh
a
to speak,
tail.
ostrich.
Oh, he was an ape. He
Oh,
was
kind of
a-
like driving a Yugo.
Are you sure?
But it says Porsche over the top of the windshield.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember him being an ape. I remember him being like a chimpanzee.
Well, yeah, that's what chimpanzee is. There's a difference between apes
They're all
and monkeys. The thing is, a monkey. See,
We're all monkeys.
well, yeah,
We all come from monkeys.
yeah, from
Yeah.
some-
And we still eat bananas.
yes.
what
I'm just
some
saying,
of us-
monkeys have tails, apes don't. That's usually the main thing.
Oh, okay.
How about that little boy that was born with a tail, remember?
Wait, yeah,
We are so.
that's true.
We
Apes
are
don't
all
have
over the
tails.
map.
I wonder what he's
Brian.
going to do on his honeymoon night.
I think.
Wag.
He whips his clothes off and she goes, what the fuck is that?
How your tail hanging?
I just maybe should say that.
Do you
Oh,
give
Lord.
tail?
I think we need electric shock treatment this morning. Jesus.
Tales from the dark
Yeah,
side.
speaking of some shocking
Alright.
stuff, there's a Houston teacher that was charged with child cruelty.
Oh.
There's Warner Robins police arrested and charged a Houston County school teacher with child cruelty. The Lake Joy Elementary teacher, Teresa Umbarger, says she's innocent. Warner Robins police accused the 40-year-old Umbarger of leaving her granddaughter unattended because she was drunk. At the club, the charge does not involve students. Teresa Umbarger spent one night in the Houston County jail after being released on a $5,000 bond.
Wow.
Yeah, she says she believes the charge will eventually be dropped. Oh, is that a
My
sanitation?
ride's here. I gotta go.
the garbage truck.
The garbage truck. in there.
Yep, they're here to pick me up.
Says the trouble started Thursday night before last August 8th when a police report says a neighbor found Umbarger's 3-year-old granddaughter wandering down Wallace Drive, screaming for her mother around 11:30 p.m. at night. And the neighbor was told that the child was not wearing clothes. Jeez Louise.
Damn.
The report says the neighbor brought the child home, put her inside without seeing an adult. Another neighbor reported hearing the child screaming and crying for about an hour before police arrived. When the police got to the home, they found Umbarger asleep with a 24-ounce Bud Light Limerita by the bed. Yes, and an officer had a difficult time waking her up. Says he had to forcefully shake Miss Umbarger many times with my hands to get her up. When Umbarger finally awakened, the report says she appeared to be highly intoxicated and became very belligerent. And she was also, they said, also very verbally abusive, and they took her into custody. And her daughter, Amber Umbarger, was told a different story, that they didn't want to tell the girl why her mom wasn't there. She says her 3-year-old was asleep, woke up, and she realized her mom wasn't home. She wandered out the door.
Wow. Wow.
Obviously, she's definitely gonna lose custody of her. That's for sure. That's
Yeah.
definitely for sure.
Well, let me see. By the way, there was a police officer. You know, people are getting drunk more these days. I guess the way the state of the world is. Seems like getting drunk is a thing to do right now. And Atlanta police say an officer has been hospitalized with minor injuries after being hit by a suspected drunk driver. Department spokesman Officer Kim Jones says a Southeast Atlanta officer was hit in Atlanta Interstate on Sunday morning and was taken to Grady Hospital for precautionary examination. Details on the driver who hit the officer weren't immediately available. So that just happened, I guess, recently. Yeah.
That's
This
something
morning,
else.
I guess. People getting drunk all day. I don't know.
Oh no, I guess they need a purpose, a muse or some type to I guess inspire them to at least do something, have a hobby or whatnot.
Yeah.
But speaking of, I guess, having something to do or task at hand, this is from Online Athens, from the Athens Banner Herald, and Athens Art House Cinema, Cine, C-I-N-E, C-I-N-E, meets and beats Kickstarter's campaign goal. How about that? Since Georgia is a rising film-making state, it's really inspiring right here. Especially with this story right here. It says sometime I think about as early as last Tuesday night, as Cine's executive director Gabe Wardell slept, the nonprofit Athens Art House Cinema reached a milestone in its fundraising effort to convert its 35mm film projectors over to a digital system. He says he's very pleased that they have crossed that goal, he said, Mr. Wardell. Since July 11th of this year, I guess, Cine has been conducting a fundraising campaign using the online crowdfunding platform Kickstarter, where the mouse click anyone can contribute to the cause. And Cine's goal was $60,000 and 4 days left to meet it. Wardell went to sleep Tuesday knowing Cine had a few $1,000s to raise, and he knew that potential donors had made their promised pledges. When he clicked that site on Wednesday morning last week, out of habit, he realized he had 535 donors had backed the project to the tune of $60,581, and he was just pleased. He said that Wardell said the current Kickstarter amount does not accurately reflect all the funds Cine has raised. Personal checks and cash donations aren't included, and neither are corporate donations and possible grants. He said that the final goal is to raise $160,000, which will cover all the hardware installation costs and unforeseeables that will certainly appear.
Yeah.
The Kickstarter component functioned as a public face of a campaign that also included grant writing and appealing to corporate donors. It said that Cine is 85% on its way of meeting its final goal of $160,000.
Isn't Spike Lee doing that now for his new movie?
Yeah, he's doing that too. He's trying
doing
to get
Kickstarter.
1.1 million. Yeah.
Oh, there we have it. That's great. 1 hour gone.
One
Two
and
more to
done.
go.
Yes. Matter of fact, I was trying to get my started. It's not through Kickstarter, but Indiegogo. I was trying to get 10,000 just to be able to get new equipment for my.
Did you put it up yet?
Not yet, because I'm still trying to figure out the ins and outs of it before I get it ready.
Well, if the guy can get how much money on a rape book, on how to date rape, and make a lot of money on it, I'm sure you can.
Yeah, I mean, I just have 10. And Spike, he's trying to get 1.1 million. I'm not even 1% of what.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want 1% of what he's less than 1%. It's like 0.9%. Well, it's 9:01 a.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time in Macon, Georgia. It's 72 degrees, partly cloudy with a high of 84 and low of 72. You're watching the Morning Roast live from the Doghouse with Ed and DB.
And Ed's got something up his sleeve.
And we'll
Don't
be
know
right
what the
back.
hell it is yet, but here it goes.
Stay tuned.
We'll be back.
Daddy, Daddy. Spider-Man defeated the Sinister Six and saved the day.
Of course he did. He's Spider-Man.
Say goodnight, sweetie. Time for bed.
Good night.
You know, honey, this city needs a Spider-Man who can defeat the Sinister Six who are running for mayor.
We do have a hero who could save the day. And you could say he's a bug of a different sort.
Oh, really? Who's that?
The write-in candidate. His name is Anthony B. Harris, or Ant for short.
Ah, yeah, I heard about him. At 44 years old, he's definitely the new blood this city needs.
And he has a great vision for Macon's future. What is it, honey?
My spider sense is tingling. It's telling me that Ant is the only choice.
Take the Sinister Six out of the equation. Write in Anthony B. Harris or Ant for Mayor Macon on September 17th. Diplomatic candidate.
Yeah, well, I'll give you a ride. Come on. Okay, just a minute, man. I gotta get my stuff. Okay. Well, hurry up. I got a lot of things to do. Okay, let's go. Hey, in just a minute, man. I got a few
World segment. I was struck by a piece of news recently that is good for America, shows that our politicians are learning from their mistakes and are actually cooperating with each other on both sides of the aisle. Sounds too good to be true? Well, listen in. For many years, the United States has had a growing problem in its criminal justice system. As I've pointed out before, we are number one in the world when it comes to incarceration, by far. In 2009, for example, for every 100,000 citizens, 760 Americans were in prison. That was 5 times the rate of incarceration in Britain, 8 times the rate in Germany and South Korea, and 12 times the rate in Japan. This trend began about 40 years ago. In 1970, state prisons had a combined total of 174,000 inmates. By 2009, they had 1.4 million, an 8-fold increase. And these correctional systems cost a lot of money, of course, nearly $80 billion a year. More than the entire GDP of Croatia or Tunisia. Well, it seems that finally common sense has prevailed.
Thank you.
Attorney General Eric Holder made an important speech this week, admitting that our prisons are overcrowded and costly. He specifically called for a reduction in mandatory sentences for low-level drug offenders.
Will no longer be charged with offenses that impose draconian mandatory minimum sentences.
It's important the Attorney General brought up drugs because the numbers are startling. Federal prisons, the group Holder was referring to, account for about 14% of our total inmates. In these prisons, the most serious charge for nearly half of all inmates is a drug offense. Compare that with state prisons, where only 20% of the inmates have a drug offense as their most serious charge. Now here's what's interesting. The federal prison population has increased every single year since 1980. On the other hand, state prison populations have been declining in recent years, so much so that the overall number of inmates, state plus federal, is actually down in each of the past 3 years. And here's the best part. The declines encompass 28 states, red and blue. Part of these declines are because budgets were simply collapsing. But it could also be because of a growing acknowledgement that the war on drugs has failed. According to the Pro-Reform Drug Policy Alliance, the United States spends about $50 billion a year on the drug war, adding up to $1 trillion in the last 4 decades. But there has been no real change in addiction rates. Americans are not more prone to drugs or crime than citizens of other countries, so why should we put so many people in prison? Well, the good news is that the numbers are finally too large to ignore. The states are already acting, and Holder's comments will add momentum to a growing chorus for reform.
This isn't just unacceptable, it is shameful.
The greatest challenge in pushing these numbers further down will be the prison lobby. Believe it or not, many of our prisons are run by private companies that then lobby state legislatures massively for bigger prisons, larger budgets, and of course, more prisoners. According to the nonprofit Justice Policy Institute, the 2 largest private prison companies in America together generate revenues of $3 billion a year, paid by taxpayers, of course. These private prison companies also happen to be major donors to a number of state campaigns, lobbying for more resources. If our politicians can take on the prison lobbies, there really is hope for America.
A major change in the way prison sentences will be handed down, ordered by the nation's top law enforcement officer.
With an outsized, unnecessarily large prison population, we need to ensure that incarceration is used to punish, to deter, and to rehabilitate, but not merely to warehouse and to forget.
Attorney General Eric Holder announced the Justice Department will stop seeking mandatory minimum sentences for offenders accused of low-level, non-violent drug crimes, like a small-time drug courier. Instead, they'll ask to send them to drug treatment and community service programs.
This is our opportunity to define this time, our time, as one of progress and innovation. This is our promise to forge a more just society.
He says he's discussed inequalities in the criminal justice system with the president for years, an issue the president addressed in emotional remarks after the Trayvon Martin verdict.
There is a history of racial disparities in the application of our criminal laws.
According to Holder, the U.S. holds an astounding 25% of the world's prisoners. Our federal prisons are 40% over capacity, and the nation spent $80 billion on the prison system in the year 2010, all of which may explain the unusual bipartisan support for ending mandatory minimum sentences that ranges from Tea Party Republican Rand Paul.
Some argue with evidence that our drug laws are biased, that they are the new Jim Crow.
To the ACLU, which hailed Holder's announcement as a crucial effort to end wasteful and harmful federal prison overcrowding. Well, the Attorney General has mandated these changes using his power as a federal official, but there's also support in the U.S. Senate for further changes that would give judges more discretion in their own sentencing. Now, among the senators who support revising these laws are Tea Party favorites Rand Paul and Mike Lee, who are joining with some of the president's allies. As you know, bipartisan coalitions like that could possibly get something done even in this gridlocked town.
Yeah, you would think Senator Rand Paul joining Senator Patrick Leahy, the chairman of the Senate Judiciary Committee, a liberal and a conservative. On this issue, they're united, but there are opponents as well, so we'll see where that goes. All right, Jessica, thank you.
There you go.
And there you go.
We knew that. Our prisons are loaded up with guys for drugs. Use prisons for important shit like murderers.
Yeah.
Well, I think there should be a mandatory sentence for pedophiles.
Oh, no.
I think you should throw them into a pool with pacus.
No, I think pedophiles should be castrated.
Yeah, you nibble on their testicles.
Thrown in jail.
Yeah, that seems to be a really good idea. Yeah.
Anyway, we're back.
Yes, it's 9:10 a.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time in Macon, Georgia, Washington. Excuse me. The morning roast for August 19th, Monday, 2013, with Irv, Ed, and DB. Goodness, I had a brain fart. Yeah, okay.
Well, I want to say good morning to the crew here, DS Photo Guy. Good morning, Yirak Wildcat, Plastic Canvas, Ashley 34. I also saw you, Ashley, at Mark Vaughn's TV show yesterday. Horny Boy, Lord of Lichens, Rocco is with us. Smell My Finger, Snowparks, Titan, Uranus, Topher, Volcapie 2, Firefighter, and Rudy 4. Some of these names are hysterical.
Well, there's some crazy stuff.
Is Uranus loose? You need to tighten Uranus?
I don't know about all that.
I don't like that.
It's already tight.
Well, you know, on a real dark night, if you're outside and you bend over and look up between your legs through the back, you might see Uranus.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Lord of Lichens, what's there's a new button called what?
A new button?
A new button, called Ignore. Okay, I see.
Oh, okay.
It's been there.
It's been there, yeah, no. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, they feed off of each other. They don't want to ignore each other. These guys feed off each other.
Yeah. Well, I'm wondering what kind of tweaking he was doing yesterday, because it looks the same to me.
Well, I'll tell you, I was on Facebook and somebody got on there and cussed him out.
Ooh, somebody got cussed out on Facebook?
Yeah,
like
because
which one this time?
they were in the middle of a show, and I'm not going to say who said this, but the comment was that there was a problem with chat.
Okay.
And the person said, it's fixed now. Stupid fucks working on shit while people are broadcasting. And then he goes on to say, should learn to close the site for an hour for updates instead of just cutting people's broadcasts halfway. How about that?
That's something.
Who knows? As long as he's working on it, improving it, I don't care. I'm glad.
Well, evidently, whoever was doing the show was in the middle of a whack-off and missed the shot.
It was going a mile a minute. You should have seen those chatters. He had about 107 chatters at one time.
Oh, my God.
Banging away. We're just nonstop. People saying shit. You know, half of them were trolls. Nobody made any sense. They were making these stupid remarks. It's like, people ain't got anything to do. That's why they're going out mass murdering. That's why they're drinking. That's why they're drugging. You can tell. You know, these people ain't got no life. All they do is get on a computer and type shit out, whatever comes out of their head.
Did you get the story I
Or
said
their
about
ass.
the guy having sex with the dog?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, cover that one. Speaking of chatters.
Yeah, definitely some chatters.
Well, you must have a nice grandma there. Tell grandma I said hello.
Here's an early wing dang doodle right here for the morning. Says 6. Whoo, okay.
Yeah, I'll re-educate. Thank you, fluffy donkeys.
Yes.
Oh, by the way, let's go down the line. I'm sorry, I stopped somewhere. Did I stop?
No, you got them all.
Did I? Oh.
Yeah, you just forgot about Sabuki because he was there for about a second
Oh,
or
yes.
two.
Oh, yeah.
But here's a
Sabuki's back in England.
Wing dang doodle. This is from MrConservative.com. It says, sex offender.
Oh, Lord.
Sex offender arrested for having sex with the neighbor's dog.
Where's that dog? It's outrageous.
Yeah, you need to
It's
put
just
it. Yeah,
doggone
hide your
outrageous.
kids, hide your wife, and hide Axel. Hide your dogs too.
Yeah, doggy style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
Doggy style. That's a good one.
Wow, wow, wow.
Yippee yo, yippee yay.
Dog rape.
Yeah.
I love this shit.
Okay,
well,
here's
yeah,
the story.
The story.
A Florida man lets his 2 dogs outside on Monday, last Monday, just like any other day, but he became worried when only one of them came back, returned home. After looking for his missing dog for hours, his neighbor, 52-year-old James Lee Lyons, was spotted carrying the animal around outdoors. Now, something's not
Was
right
it a
about
female dog?
I don't know. It says the guy's name was Lyons, but he messed with dogs. I guess dogs are not as dogs don't bite as quickly as a lion would. So I guess.
Lion? Oh.
Yeah.
Are you sure it wasn't Lord of Lions? No.
It says when he questioned about it, Lee said that he had found the dog in his neighbor's shed. This made no sense to the neighbor. However, since he had already looked for the dog in the shed, and she wasn't there, so she was a female dog. So once the neighbor got the dog back in his house, he noticed that she was acting very withdrawn, quiet, and skittish. And it was then that he noticed severe injuries in the dog's private areas. According to the story, yes.
Yeah, we did that already. Yeah,
And-
we did that story.
Okay.
No. The one where the dog ate off the guy's penis.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lord of
So
Lycans
yes.
is bringing that up.
Yeah, it says, according to animal control officials, urged him to take the dog to the vet, and special victims detectives were called in to investigate. Lyons, who doesn't look the least bit creepy in his mugshot, was previously arrested in 1998, 15 years ago, on charges of attempted sexual battery on a child and a sexual act with a child while in a familial role. After a plea deal, he was sentenced to 13 years, and he was released about 2 years ago and forced to register as a sexual predator. Jeez. So he just got out of jail 2 years ago, and now I'm messing with dogs.
Yeah. By the way, Rocco, I'm having a hard time believing you. I think you're just trying to make conversation. I think you're bullshit. You saw a dog screwing. You saw a bunch of kids screwing a dog in Brooklyn. Yeah, right.
My goodness. Yeah,
I
Ty
don't
Uranus
believe
says dogs don't kiss until I see. Okay.
I think Rocco's trying to. They said the kids are making. You see, I was right. I could smell a liar right through the internet. Trying to be funny.
What can he do, man? What can he do?
Yeah, he's trying to insult me because I'm from Brooklyn. Meanwhile, where the hell is he from?
I thought he was from New York too, isn't he?
Rocco, are you from New York? You know what? What the hell am I doing? I'm giving him attention that he wants. I'm giving him exactly what he wants.
Yeah.
You don't pay attention to him, he goes away. It's like a boil.
Speaking of.
Anyway,
Speaking of crazy stuff going on, earlier this morning on Good Morning America, Lady Gaga had her world premiere video of her brand new song.
That woman is ugly as hell, dude.
That would be Ann Coulter, man. I really.
She looks terrible.
I mean, when you take all the gooky guckly stuff, you know, the feathers and that type of stuff, she's really not that bad looking. Now, Ann Coulter, that may be something else. I mean, the chick has a freaking Adam's apple, you know. I mean, it's bigger than a man. So I'm not quite sure whether or not if Ann Coulter is biologically an actual biological
Ann
woman.
Coulter looks like a freaking Afghan doll.
Yeah, I mean, she's got. I mean, I'm
Talk
thinking
about screwing a dog.
I think she may be a man because she got a really big Adam's apple.
Yeah, she does.
I mean, you may want to check.
She's a tranny.
Yeah, and the Tran Coulter. Yeah.
Yeah.
You might want to. Yeah, you might want to check her feet.
Tran Coulter.
Yeah, you might want to check her feet too because if she wearing a size 15 shoe, there's a good chance she may not be a total woman. I'm just saying.
Also look at the hands. You have to look at the hands.
Yeah.
The hands are a big giveaway. The
The
Adam's
neck.
apple, it could be, of course.
Hands, neck, and
Sometimes
feet.
guys don't have that big of an Adam's apple.
Yeah.
You know,
And also check their feet. Like I said,
and their feet.
Yeah, if they wear a size 16 shoe or more, they may not be a woman. I'm just saying there are women in the WNBA. I mean, women like 6'2", tall as a flagpole, tall as a mountain. They don't wear no size 16 shoe. I'm just saying.
Vorpal by Janet Napolitano is pretty bad. She looks like what the hell does she look like? She don't even look like a woman. She looks like that. Remember that Saturday Night Live skit, Pat?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the ambidextrous or whatever she was. The
ambidextrous. Ambiguous.
The androgynous.
Androgynous. Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, Rocco said these guys look like great judges of women, huh? Yeah. Wow.
All I'm saying is, I just don't trust anyone who wears a size 16 shoe or bigger. That's just me. I don't know. Maybe just.
Is that right, Vorpal? She said, let us not forget it was Ann Coulter said a little radiation is good for you, man.
A little radiation.
She looked like she's been hit with an atomic freaking bomb. That woman is ugly as shit.
Yeah. I remember.
And her conversations are ugly.
I remember Neil Board said that Ann Coulter was fine. I was like, dude, are you drinking? It's like, no wonder his show went off there. It's like, you can't say some stuff like that on radio or TV. No, you don't supposed to say something like that in public or in private. Because, like, man, you may be end up in a rubber room somewhere like that.
Lord of Likens, I agree. Hillary Clinton does look like a biker dyke. She wears pants all the time. That's a dead giveaway, don't you think?
Well, yeah, because she got cankles.
Yeah.
She got cankles. Those who know cankles, basically, you got really fat tree trunk legs where you don't know where the calves end and the ankles begin.
Yeah, and you got those big, gigantic veins that look like a map of New York.
Basically, her legs look like this here. Between the ankle and the calf muscle, that's basically what it looks like this. It's just no shape. No shape of the legs. You just got tree trunk and a heel, you know. And it's not that sexy. You can't model with cankles. I mean, it just doesn't work that way. You just look like a tree trunk in drag, pretty much. Yeah, my words exactly.
She's always got a different hairdo on. You ever notice that?
Well, yeah. Well, women do that, to refresh their looks. Show variety.
Yeah. Yeah, she shows variety, all right. Half the time, her hair's all messed up anyway. You look like she just came off an airplane with, Well, I had a bumpy ride.
Yeah, bumpy ride.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, come on, travel all around the world. I mean, that's going to take a lot of work. I mean, because you think, 2016, she says that, she's going to be running for. She may be running for president in 2016.
Yeah.
And the thing is, in 2016, she will be 69 years old, or going on 68 to 69 years old. And she won't be in her 70s per se, but she will. as like she won't be as old as John McCain though. She'll at least be in her late 60s.
In her late 60s. Well, you know, Ronald Reagan was like 72 when he got elected.
Well, 69, 70, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Oldest president ever elected.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was George Washington with all that white hair he had.
No, they
that was
just
fake.
had white
That
hair.
was
Yeah,
wig.
it was a wig. Yeah, he didn't live there. Actually, he didn't even make it to 70. He died at the age of 67. Actually, you know, because back then, you know, most people didn't live that long in the 18th century. I mean, granted, if you made it to 50 back in those days, you were lucky. I mean, you were pretty much was a grandfather.
Yeah.
Thomas Jefferson, he actually did make it to 84. John Adams, he actually made it to 90.
Well, John Adams had a son.
Yeah.
John Quincy, right?
Yeah, John Quincy Adams, yes.
Who was the better president? I think the father was, right?
Maybe, possibly. I mean, who knows? I mean, they both had one term. They both had one term presidency. So
yeah,
who knows which one? I mean, granted, John Adams has the prestige of being the first U.S. president to live in the White House. The White House wasn't created until Washington left office. They didn't even have a White House at that time.
What color was it?
Nothing. They were just building it.
They didn't have a house.
Yeah. They didn't have one specifically for the president, I should say.
Anyway, what else is in the news, Derek?
Well, what else in the news? Speaking of politics, Hugh P. Thompson of Milledgeville was sworn in this past Thursday as the 30th Chief Justice of the Supreme Court in Georgia. Judge Thompson was, according to, Senator Johnny Isakson, said Judge Thompson was someone who will always do what's right. He won't legislate through his decisions. P. Harris Hines was also sworn in as the High Court's new presiding justice, stepping into Thompson's former role. According to the new Chief Justice, Thompson said, "Today I pledge to all of you that as Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of Georgia, I will not waver in my commitment to lead the judicial branch with fairness and integrity." And says that after attending the historical event where Governor Nathan Deal, former Governor Zell Miller, and Roy Barnes, and all 6 living former Chief Justices, Miller, who appointed both Thompson and Hines to the court, administered the oath of office. Thompson and Hines were unanimously selected in May by their colleagues in the 7-member court. The Chief Justice, who serves a 4-year term, also chairs the Georgia Judicial Court, which governs all levels of the state courts. The state's Chief Justice presides over Georgia's judicial branch and is the main spokesperson for the court as well as for the entire judiciary. The presiding justice serves in his absence. Thompson was the chief judge of the Mulgee Judicial Circuit when Miller appointed him in 1994 to the Georgia Supreme Court. Hines served as Superior Court Judge of the Cobb County Judicial Court for more than 12 years before Miller appointed him to the state Supreme Court in 1995.
Wow. Well, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
We got a new Chief Justice. Hopefully things will straighten out in this frickin' state.
Yeah, hopefully. We hope.
We'll
Fingers
see.
crossed.
We'll see. By the way, you heard about they want to amend the Constitution to make the justices have term limits?
Oh, really?
Interesting.
Very interesting. I could see that because out of the 3 branches, at least in the United States in the national level, there's a term limit for the president. He has 2 terms, 2 4-year terms, which is 8 years total, or 10 years if he finishes up, if he gets 2 years or finishes like 2 years of
somebody else's.
Yeah, like Nixon or someone like that gets impeached.
Yeah,
and there, I guess there should be some. I know there should be some term limits for congressmen because they get elected all the time. They just you just don't vote. The only time when you just don't vote for them. Some people have been there for 20 years, and in Supreme Court, of course, they become justices for life. So they either just quit or they just drop dead. Literally.
Yeah, well, it was a good thing that Justice, the one that looked like George Washington, what's her name?
Sandra Day O'Connor?
Yeah.
Okay.
Didn't she have a hair like George Washington?
I guess.
It's like a female version of George Washington. Yeah, well, she retired.
Yes.
Who else retired?
Oh, there. Well,
a couple of them retired.
Yeah, they did. I think I want to say Rehnquist.
No, I think Rehnquist died of cancer.
Oh, he died.
While he was in office.
Okay,
yeah.
I'm sorry.
Did Rehnquist? Well, Lord of Lycan says that Rehnquist did retire.
Okay, he did retire, and then he just happened to die shortly afterwards. I guess.
Shortly thereafter.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. I liked his. He used to have a gown that had like stripes in it. You remember?
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, I guess that's he has that because he's the Chief Justice.
Yeah, Chief Justice. Well, I don't see anybody else wearing that shit.
Yeah, because he's the Chief Justice. He's the only one who gets to wear it.
Yeah, but Roberts is the Chief Justice.
Yeah.
He don't walk around with those stripes on his arm.
He doesn't?
No. I've never seen it.
May have to investigate that.
Oh, well. They're like a part of government that you almost like don't even, you're not even aware of, but meanwhile they make more decisions even than the president.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they really get into it.
Okay, I just wanted to say that we do have one flash flood watch, which expires sometime later today. It's flash flood watch for Butts County.
Yeah.
It's going to be on, I guess, till tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. So since there's going to be some rain today, there's going to be a lot of rain. Definitely have to watch out for Butts counties are among the counties that are going to be in there, as well as Jasper, Georgia, Butts, Georgia, Putnam, Georgia, flash flood watch there.
In
Hancock, Georgia, Upson County, Lamar County, Monroe, Jones, Baldwin, Washington, Taylor, Crawford, also in Bibb County, Twiggs County, Wilkinson, Johnson, Macon, Georgia, and Peach, Georgia, and Houston, Georgia, and Blakely, Georgia, Lawrence, Trutland, Dooley County, Cruz County, Georgia, Pulaski County, Georgia, Wilcox, Dodge County, and Telfair.
The whole freaking state's going to be flooded.
Pretty much the majority of central Georgia and parts of northern and southern Georgia.
Right, which covers about 80% of Georgia.
Yeah, about 80%. You're right.
It's going to be under flood watch. The rain, the
precipitation.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, it's stuck on stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Just floating around it. Plus, we have some kind of a tropical warning or some shit down in the Gulf of Mexico. Yeah.
Oh, I just got a IM message from Benji Anderson. It says, "Word up, Derek! I tuned into the show. You guys are a hoot." Says, "Come on, be serious. Is that Robert Downey Jr. with the fake voice on the mic?" I guess he's talking about you. Are you talking about me or you? Me or Irvir?
I don't know. Who is that guy?
Benji. He's a acting friend of mine. We worked in a lot of projects together.
Very good. Is he on the show right now?
No, he was on Facebook. Matter of fact, he was. He worked in one of. I want to say he worked in Michelangelo's film. Not the one we went to see in Atlanta. The In Prison by Love, but he was in. Matter of fact, the DVD I sent you, maybe.
Yeah.
He's in
the one with the big rose on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Words to Kill.
Yeah. Words to Kill.
About author. That's another drama, and I've worked with him with New Visions Film Group with the movie Wonder Woman, who worked with Michelangelo as well, and we also worked in. The Audition. That was another Michael Harris film, and we also worked together in comedy. We were part of cast members last year of the SNL and the ATL.
Yeah.
So cool.
Not bad. Well, I got a story on that Blade Runner guy, by the way.
Oh, he's talking about you, Irv. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Who?
Yeah, I guess he was talking about you. Had that. Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, I don't mind looking like Robert Downey. Actually, he's a great actor. I like Robert Downey.
You look more like Spider-Man.
By the way, thank you, Ed. Actually, he's making about $7 million now doing commercials for, I believe, Apple, iPad or i something. Yeah, and he's gotten like $7 million for each commercial.
That's really
You
good.
notice how a lot of these guys are going to commercials now? All these guys from Saturday Night Live are now doing commercials.
Diabetes.
Yeah. Seems like commercials are the way to go.
Well, you got to pay the bills some kind of way. I mean, now back in the day, it used to be frowned upon for like Hollywood stars to do commercials in America, and they had to go overseas to make money.
Yeah.
Because like Sly Stallone and Arnold Schwarzenegger, they made tons of millions of dollars, doing commercials in Japan and Italy and Germany and stuff.
Yeah. But now they're doing them here.
Yeah.
And it's funny. I mean, you got Norm Macdonald doing a commercial for
Progressive Insurance.
Yeah, for insurance company. You have this kid that just left the Saturday Night Live. Whatever his name is.
There's a bunch of them.
Saturday Night Live ain't what it used to be. It used to be such a great show. I don't know what it's going to look like now. I mean, you had 3 guys leave the show.
Mm-hmm.
3 or 4 guys left the show.
Yeah, definitely at least 2 or 3.
Yeah.
So what you had about Oscar Pistorius?
Well, he's going back to trial on March 3rd. It says, we'll go on trial on March 3rd. Is this an old story?
March 3rd of next year.
Next year, yeah. Okay.
2014, yeah.
Accused of premeditated murder in the death of his girlfriend, Riva Steenkamp. At a hearing Monday, prosecutors indicted Pistorius in a Valentine's Day shooting death. Pistorius has been charged with planned and premeditated murder, which comes with a mandatory sentence of life behind bars. The indictment says the accused did unlawfully and intentionally kill a person. Pistorius is also indicted for allegedly violating South Africa's Firearms Control Act. In South Africa, people can possess ammunition only if they're licensed to own a gun, and the ammunition must be specific to that weapon. Pistorius has acknowledged storing ammunition for a gun his father owned. Steenkamp would have turned 30 on Monday. The indictment followed today, I guess.
Right.
Yeah. The indictment follows the completion of a police investigation into the case. The double amputee track star killed a woman he called the love of his life in his home. He denies the murder charge and says he mistook her for a home invader. Yeah, right. The first phase of the trial will take place in March, but the entire trial will take place at various times across a year or more because of potential motions and postponements along the way. There you have it. This guy is it's terrible. What a... I thought OJ had it bad.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
OJ got away with it somewhat.
Well, yeah, because he had the money.
Yeah.
But this guy,
I
don't
don't know. He can't run away from this problem.
Obviously won't. He can't.
Yeah.
He really can't.
Yeah.
Literally, yeah. But I have some serious stuff going on sports. This is a nice little segue. It says NCAA searches for new low by denying Marine eligibility. How about this right here? It says we make fun of the NCAA because they're easily punching bag and they lack consistency, transparency, and understanding the basic concepts of common sense. But this is a story that is really terrible about this guy, about Stephen Rhodes. Stephen Rhodes is a 24-year-old Marine sergeant. He finished his 5-year commitment to the armed forces this past summer and called up Middle Tennessee State football coaches asked if they had a spot for him as a walk-on. They happily accepted the 6'3", 240-pound veteran Stephen Rhodes, who have been using him as a tight end and a defensive lineman during practice. So it seems to be a great story, but it seems like it was the intramurals from where guys from anywhere between 18 to 40-something years old. For some reason, why they wouldn't let him play. It says the official rule of keeping Rhodes from playing in a game this season is that by NCAA bylaw 14.2.3.2.1, whatever that code is, it says steeped in layers of legal jargon. This is from the document. The rule essentially says that the student athletes that do not enroll in college within a year of their high school graduation will be charged 1 year of intercollegiate eligibility for every academic year they participate in organized competition. By NCAA standards, Rhodes Recreational League games in the Marine base counted as organized competition because there were game officials, team uniforms, and the score was kept. It says for a guy, the coach, Middle Tennessee coach Rick Stocksell says, for a guy who go to serve our country, you'd think there'd be some compassion and understanding for this guy shouldn't be prevented from playing college football. He's going to be almost 30 years old when his eligibility clock runs out, and he needs to be allowed to play right now. Hopefully they will let him. And, basically let Rhodes, all they can do is just let Rhodes play now and change the rule later. Do you think the NCAA can can do that, or possibly?
They can do whatever the hell they want. Look, right now they're saying they can't wear those masks.
That's the NFL. This is college football.
Oh, same shit.
It's well, not necessarily the same. NCAA is like collegiate.
Everybody had
Same
something
shit.
input there, and he blew
It's
it.
all football. By the way, you notice the Little League is getting more airplay now than regular baseball?
Well, yeah, on ESPN2, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All these little kids running around playing ball. You can only imagine all that pressure the parents put on these kids.
Oh, well, yeah.
Too much pressure.
Yeah, whether it's like Little League baseball for the boys' side
Yeah.
or softball for the girls. I mean, it's basically just money. It's all about getting the kids in, getting money, and plus they remember. And plus, you just think 5 to 10 years from now, they're gonna remember that little kid's name, whether it's little boy, little girl. She ended up playing. Little girl ended up playing softball, ended up on a Olympic softball team, or the little boy ended up playing Major League Baseball. They could say they will have the bragging rights that I remember him or her way back when they were like knocking little tiny little baseballs out the park during Little League, and then now they made good, and now they're making serious cheese.
Well,
I mean, it could happen. I mean, why do you think? I mean, I wouldn't be surprised that they want their kids to be really, really big and famous at a young age, and then people remember them years from now. It's it's not anything new. It's not anything new. Speaking of which, I have some scores from these past weekend of preseason football games. Philadelphia last Thursday night before I got sick, the Philadelphia Eagles beat the Carolina Panthers 14-9. The Atlanta Falcons, who actually had a 23-10 lead in the first half of their preseason game last Thursday night. The Baltimore Ravens came back and defeated them 27-23. Cleveland Browns defeated Detroit Lions 24-6. Chicago Bears defeated the San Diego Chargers 33-28. This past Friday, Buffalo Bills were over the Minnesota Vikings 20-16. The 49ers were over the Kansas City Chiefs 15-13. The New Orleans Saints defeated the Oakland Raiders 28-20, and that was, which I should add, was a very good game. Not because of the teams, but because of the woman that we talked about a couple of weeks back, making her debut as the first full-time female NFL official.
Yes.
Yes.
I heard about that. Now, let me ask you a question. I mean, how's that going to work?
Well, it's not like she's going to be, suiting up and making plays. She's just going to basically say, first down, second down, third down, fourth, whatever. I mean, it's not like she's going to be, blocking somebody. I mean, you just basically just giving the officials, you just giving the stats, like offsides, holding, 5-yard penalty, first down, second down. It's.
Is she going to be allowed in the locker room?
Well, they're not going to be in the locker room. They're just going to be on the field.
Oh.
So, it's...
You never know.
It's okay.
Sneak in. Unless, of course, she's what?
What, a cheerleader or something?
No. She's a dyke.
Okay. I doubt that she is. She's married with like 2 kids. So
Well, that doesn't say shit. Be on a down low.
Right? Yeah. Yeah, there are some down low folks,
Yeah,
but
of
still,
course.
you never know.
That's a new way to swing.
Yeah. Matter of fact, Tampa Bay, as I said, other scores: New England Patriots over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 25-21. This past weekend, Saturday games, Arizona Cardinals over the Dallas Cowboys, 12-7. Cincinnati Bengals over the Tennessee Titans, 27-19. New York Jets are over the Jacksonville Jaguars, 37-13.
Yeah, baby.
All right, I know you have about that. The Jets. Houston Texans are over the Miami Dolphins. That's Ant's team. They lost 24-17. Well, I guess it doesn't matter because it's a preseason game.
Yeah.
The Green Bay Packers over the St. Louis Rams, 19-7. The Seattle Seahawks just trampled over the Denver Broncos, 40-10. I heard that. And Sunday's game that was on last night, the Indianapolis Colts defeated the New York Giants 20-12. So I guess that special Bane Dark Knight Returns face mask didn't do so well on the job, I guess. Yes, indeedy. Some other sports related news. Paulina Gretzky, the daughter of NHL legendary hockey player Wayne Gretzky.
Spit it out, Derek.
Yeah.
See, I even knew that. I didn't even know the story.
Yeah, Paulina Gretzky, the daughter of Wayne Gretzky, and are pretty much getting engaged to get married. PGA golfer, she's engaged to PGA golfer Dustin Johnson, and she attends his tournaments and apparently have no problem for being and self-promoting lust for hockey nerds everywhere. They'll both be getting married sometime later this year. For the record, Johnson's earnings, the PGA golfer, is $2.5 million based on 3 months' salary roll.
I'm jealous.
Yeah. Paulina Gretzky is 24 and Johnson is 29. They were first linked together in January when she walked into the course during his tournament in Maui. Since then, they've dated publicly, including some beach fun, according to certain news sources. And that's one more thing. There was a SummerSlam that was on this past weekend. SummerSlam on pay-per-view. Anyone was checking? Hello. Wow,
nice.
That's
Paulina Gretzky, Wayne Gretzky's daughter. Hello. Well, you hit the jackpot on that one, buddy.
He's getting more than money.
Oh yeah. Oh yes, indeed. Yes. I tip my hat off to you. Buddy. And
is it love or is it lust?
Maybe a little bit of both. A little of both.
He loves to lust that, though. How's that?
A little bit of both. As I was saying, SummerSlam, WWE SummerSlam was on this weekend on pay-per-view. There was some stuff there. They had the return of Rob Van Dam.
Yeah.
Making his debut back on on pay-per-view on the WWE. Of course, he was supposed to be fighting against some match, but it was disturbed by the menacing trio, The Shield. And it seems like, I think, John Cena retained his title, World Championship title, against the bearded one, Daniel Bryan.
Me-o.
And that's pretty much all I have.
Well, I know. We spoke of lust. We spoke of slamming. Mm-hmm. And we spoke of, what was the other one?
Murder? Pistorius?
Well, yeah. Well, we'll throw that in.
Mm-hmm.
Update. Thank you, Ed. A young man who testified he was sexually abused by former Penn State assistant coach Jerry Sandusky will get a reported multi-million-dollar settlement. A lawyer confirmed in Philadelphia Inquirer report that the young man known as Victim 5 reached a settlement on Friday, but he wouldn't say how much. It's the first of what could be dozens of settlements between the university and
Okay.
Sandusky's accuser.
Matter of fact, Ed said he has found the video for that story.
Sandusky?
Now, to follow up from Jerry Sandusky and the child sex abuse case, the first lawsuit against Penn State, where Sandusky was an assistant football coach, has been settled. That word from the lawyer for the victim, a man known at trial as really only victim number 5. We have his attorney with us, Tom Klein. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. Good morning, Martin. How are you?
We understand, and this question's going to sound strange, but we know it's a confidential settlement you have. What can you tell us about it?
I can tell you nothing about the precise settlement amount. I can tell you that my client is relieved and that we are very pleased that Penn State, which is a great university, will be able to now move forward. I can also tell you that approximately 25 or 26 of the 31 claims are expected to be settled within the next week or two after settlement documentation. My case, on behalf of my client, victim number 5, is now completed. It is the first case that is signed, sealed, and delivered.
The former Penn State president, Graham Spanier, and 2 others are facing a criminal trial for allegedly covering up Sandusky's actions. I'm wondering, how does your client feel about someone potentially going to prison now?
Well, my client was directly in literally the line of fire as it pertains to the Schultz, Curley, and Spanier charges. Schultz, Curley, and Spanier are charged essentially, among other things, with failing to report, and that failing to report included the infamous McQuarrie incident, which was, of course, when Mike McQuarrie, the assistant coach, graduate assistant, saw this horrible incident in the shower in February of 2001. My client, victim number 5, was assaulted in the shower at Penn State just 6 months later. So the incident, which involved my client, could have and should have been directly stopped, and could have been stopped had the appropriate reporting taken place. So my client actually may end up a witness in that trial if subpoenaed, just as he testified live and in person, of course, in the Sandusky trial, and again at the sentencing hearing.
All right, Tom Klein, thank you very much for joining us this morning, and we should know that CNN reached out to Penn State for a comment. A spokesman says the university continues.
Wow.
Yeah, well.
It's a sad situation.
Well, I mean,
Very
the kid
sad.
made money just like a prostitute.
Mm-hmm.
I guess.
Yeah.
You
Just
bang
right there.
Sandusky, you get millions.
Yeah, you get screwed in more ways than one.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
but you know what?
Mhm.
Let me tell you something. It's got to be fucking traumatic to have to live knowing that happened to you for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
All the money in the world is never gonna
Yeah,
get that
yeah, you could.
filth off your body.
I know you could have like a toilet made out of gold or a sofa. I mean, it's not gonna
The question is,
it's not gonna erase that
these guys weren't babies. I mean, you know, I think about this a lot, and I think about, all right, Sandusky was a predator, obviously. But some of these young men, they go around in school all buff and tough and all that shit. What happened there? Why they let this old freaking craggly old man go down on them for? I mean, you would think.
Yeah, but the thing
Come
was
on,
not
give me
all
a
of them.
break.
But look, not all of them were grown men. See, that's one of the double standards. See, if the victim, sexual victim, is male, people are like, well, he must have asked for it. But they don't say the same. They don't question a woman if she was asking for it. I mean, that's
Yeah,
the
I'm
thing.
just saying. I mean, these guys are football players. I mean, don't they have like any kind of stamina or strength? I
Well,
mean,
of course.
they let this
Of course
guy
that's them. But the thing
go
was,
all over them.
the thing-
What's up with that?
The thing is, though, at the time when he molested them, they weren't those big strapping
How
young
old
guys.
were they?
They were like 11, 12, 13 years
Oh,
old.
okay.
That's the
In
difference.
answer to Vorpal bite, hell fucking no!
Yeah. Said Master Meatball says Sandy should have become a Catholic priest. Yeah.
I think so, Vorp. I think he would.
Boy, I tell you.
I hate to say it. I think you would.
About what? Oh.
For millions of dollars, he'd have that dog that was raped screw him. How the hell that?
Jeez Louise.
$7 million.
That's just cold, man. Somebody,
You can buy a new ID.
That's cold, man. It's like, dude, you like the old
Good morning, Michelle. Welcome back, sweetheart.
I'll tell you, man. Like the old folks say, man. You gonna bust hell wide open wearing gasoline boxes. I'm telling you right now.
I'm just saying. Yeah. The 7-digit settlement. You wouldn't stand in line for that kind of molestation.
Jeez Louise.
I think so.
But
But anyway, it's an indecent proposal. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
I just want to go ahead and say this quick thing. I mean, there's some extended stuff that went on during this weekend for sports.
Go ahead.
There was something I rarely watch on TV. That I actually saw arena football and a WNBA game, and
at the same time.
Yeah, the same weekend,
wow.
Which is really weird.
And wrestling.
Yeah, and wrestling. Yes.
And you were ODing.
Well, I had to do something, man, to get that, to keep that sore throat off my mind, you know. Angel McCoughtry, I guess it's McCoughtry.
You are definitely a sports addict.
She scored 30 points in the game as the Atlanta Dream. The Atlanta Dream beat the Connecticut Sun 88-57. 88-57. That's a WNBA game, by the way.
Yeah.
They rarely show them on TV now because I guess they don't get as many people, you know, watching it as compared to the NBA games. I mean, it's granted it is a professional team. They're a professional team in women's basketball, but not that many people don't see it. But I guess that's because as talented as they are, you only know about 4 or 5 people in the entire league that can actually slam dunk a ball. I mean, Lisa Leslie and 3 or 4 other people. Yeah. That's about it. That's the only people that we know about. I mean,
you know about. I don't know who these people are.
I mean, it's kind of sad though. When like, what do they have an all-star game? They have like a slam dunking contest like they do in the NBA. I mean, at least you have like 10 or 12 people. How you gonna have a slam dunk contest with the same 4 people for 4 or 5 years in a row? Ain't nobody gonna try to slam dunk. You know, do the tomahawk. You know, slam.
It sounds like making Dominique. Politics.
Yeah, I mean,
same 4 or 5 people running.
I mean, go figure. But also, arena football was going on in Orlando. After winning their second straight Arena Bowl title for their 3rd consecutive championship game, Arizona quarterback Dick Davila and coach Kevin Guy shied away from dynasty talk. I guess people's hard to believe that you can have a dynasty in arena football. So basically, I guess it was the Arena Football Bowl championships.
Yeah.
In arena football, because usually arena football comes around, you know, as they say, like since football starts in the beginning around September, that's where arena football kind of ends right by that time, because arena football is during the summertime. You know, give people that football fix, you know, till the NFL comes back on. Same thing with the WNBA. You know, they have women's basketball, you know, play around until NBA season starts around November-ish.
So they have all the boring shit first, and then they have the real deal.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
The kind of a warm up.
Yeah, pretty much. The Arizona Rattlers defeated the Philadelphia Soul at the Arena Bowl. The final score was 48-39. That is a high score.
You know what's so funny about this is that you would agree with what I just said.
Yeah. Well, in a
all
way,
the boring bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, it's just basically
not boring to you. You would really like to, especially watch the female sports, don't you?
Well, yeah. I mean, I like, you know,
something about the women running around. And by the way,
I mean, I love women's gymnastics.
How do they handle their boobs? I mean, I never.
Well, they got
noticed
sports
that.
bras.
Oh.
They have sports bras. It just contains them together. Yeah. And you know. And
not like Lindsay Lohan, who was kind of hanging there yesterday.
I mean, Grant, I do like I like women's track because they great runners, and I knew a lot of runners back in college, and I like women's gymnastics. I'm not gonna lie, I think they're very, very talented, very athletic.
You just like women, period.
and they're petite and stuff. They're close to my height compared to female basketball players who were like tower over me. So, you know, I think they're really, really cute and agile.
Yeah,
the gymnasts. So.
Yeah, well, you know, you can't go wrong with loving women.
Yeah.
And speaking of loving women, Prince William, you know,
the new dad.
He banged his wife, and boy, she was pretty fertile. She like immediately.
And they gave a little boy George, yes.
Yeah, little boy George, and there's a story about him, and look at what he calls him. I mean, it's kind of an unusual name.
Mm-hmm.
He may be the future king of Britain, but for now, Prince George of Cambridge is just a little rascal. According to his proud father, Prince William. Sitting in his garden in Kensington Palace on a warm summer day, the Duke of Cambridge, second in line to the British throne, told CNN that George is already quite a character in his first official interview since the birth of his son on July 22nd. He's a little bit of a rascal, I'll put it that way. He either reminds me of my brother or me when I was young, I'm not sure. But look at what he starts to say soon afterwards. It goes to show you how much these people are so entitled.
Right.
That they're even allowed to do this. He says he's going quite quickly, and actually he's a little fighter. He wiggles around quite a lot. He doesn't want to sleep that much. William said his wife Catherine, the Duchess of Cambridge, has been handling more of the night duties for baby George, and admitted he's looking forward to going back to his job at the Royal Air Force in order to catch up with some much-needed sleep. What the hell's that all about?
What?
Like he's admitting that he sleeps on the job. I love that picture.
It's about what job? He's a prince.
Yeah, right. Yeah, what is his job?
I mean, where
these people getting paid multi-million-dollars for what?
I don't know. I mean, like the Queen of England. Queen of England. What's Queen of England do? She just wear a dress and a purse. Carry around with a purse all day. I mean, it's not like she got a,
Yeah, well, she has a job carrying that frickin' purse. But, the point is, I mean, could you imagine he's admitting in jest that he wants to go back to work so he can get much needed sleep? I mean, that would get any of us fired.
But
especially when we
who?
put that shit on Facebook.
But yeah.
Next thing you know, our boss is saying, "Oh, I saw you admitted you're going to sleep on the job. You're fired."
Yeah, but come on, he's a prince. I mean, how you gonna fire a prince? That's
fire that chunk.
I mean, come on, that's like, I mean,
you
inherited it. That's something you inherit. That's not something you have to fill out an application, and get an interview. How do you feel about waving in front of large crowds and stuff, and and having people kiss your ring and stuff? Do you feel uncomfortable about that? Do you feel how do you feel about that, William?
That's a little rascal over here. Wiggles around. Yeah. Wow. Well, I don't know. I don't even know what to say about those people. I mean, I love the whole idea of royalty and all that shit, but boy, they're a prime example on how not to be royal. They're royal pain in the asses. That's what they are.
Yeah, Topher, I do agree with you. Yeah, women's tennis is watchable too. Definitely. Yeah, that's cool too.
Rudy Four says, I have a 3-year-old and I still haven't gotten sleep. You're a good husband and a good father.
And we're down to the home stretch. We're down at two laps down and one more to go.
Thank you, Lady K.
Thank you. We have two down and one to go. We're into the. Got to go with
that sound effect. That is my favorite sound effect of all.
Yes, it's 10:02 a.m. We're going into our third and final hour of the morning roast. Be sure to stay tuned.
How you dick hanging?
We're hanging real well. We're hanging on. We'll keep on hanging on. Be sure to stay tuned. We'll be right back.
It's back to school shopping season, where nowadays you can find supplies in every shape, size, design, and color. And this school year, a totally new item: bulletproof backpacks.
I felt it necessary to be proactive.
Robert Scott is president of Florida-based Armorware. For the first time, his company is producing specially designed lightweight backpack inserts capable of absorbing a gunman's bullets.
After the Sandy Hook event, Columbine, we live in dangerous and perilous times. There's real life monsters out there that inflict harm upon, children and adults.
Scott says he designed the product with his own 2 daughters in mind.
Why not have something in your backpack in case of, some type of ambush or some type of hot situation? You've got a little extra protection there.
The inserts are currently available for purchase online. Scott says he's working to convince retailers like Walmart and Bass Pro Shop to stock them nationwide. The bulletproof backpack idea met with mixed reviews among parents.
I would hate to have to think about that. Just of the sheer possibility that it would protect them, I'd want to do it.
Laura Heaton's 2 daughters say it's something they'd want at school. Do you think that would help protect you a little bit?
Yes, a lot.
If I can save just one life, I've done my job.
So it's not actually a backpack they're selling. It's actually something that would fit inside the backpack. And price was the main issue. They run around $125 online. This material is not cheap to produce. He also had to design them where they'd be light enough for little kids to carry around. Obviously, they've got those books they're already lugging around. So they came up with this design that's extremely lightweight and very thin to fit inside the backpack. By the way, the same company also producing other wearable protective products, including bulletproof underwear.
This church school is still in deep shock over the news that their principal is in jail at this hour. 57-year-old Jack Hibbs is charged with 4 felony counts of aggravated child molestation involving a 15-year-old. Now, investigators with the Cobb Crimes Against Children Unit suspect there may be more children, as you said, who might have been victimized, and they're asking parents to question their kids to see if that's the case. Now, tonight, Hibbs was still listed on the church website as the principal of the Faith Lutheran School, whose mission, according to the site, is to connect kids with Christ. A person from the church says it is still in the process of fully learning about the charges as well as the investigation. The next step is communicating with parents and members about the charges and then what the next steps here will be. We just use it to listen.
For 2 years, Mark Gilbert and his wife have come to rely on their internet cameras.
Yeah, almost couldn't live without it.
With them, they could watch their 2 toddlers in their rooms, but over the weekend, someone else was watching too.
It felt like somebody broke into our house.
Gilbert says he first heard a voice from down the hall. As he and his wife got closer, what it was saying got worse.
He said, wake up, Allison, you little...
Soon he knew it was coming from the camera.
I see the camera move on us.
Gilbert immediately pulled the plug and started doing research. He believes that someone hacked his router as well as the camera. The person could see Allison's name on her wall to call her by it. He now wants to warn other parents about the danger.
As a father, I'm supposed to protect her against people like this, and so it's a little embarrassing, to say the least, but it's not going to happen again.
The only saving grace is that Allison never heard a thing.
Allison was born deaf, so she has cochlear implants. So thankfully, we had them off, and she didn't hear any of it, and she slept right through it.
I want to show you these because we mentioned them earlier in cancer freebies in my segment. These are the Cadillac of breast prostheses. These are called knitted knockers.
Okay.
You can have one of the knockers.
I really can touch one.
You can hold them both. Okay,
So
there
soft.
you go. Hold
Thank
the
you.
knockers. They're
Yes.
not mine. They're a sample that were mailed to me by a charity in Arizona called knittedknockers.info that makes them for cancer patients, and then we'll send them to you for free, or other organizations do it for a very nominal charge. I would love it if knitters in Atlanta and Georgia would start learning how to do these. The patterns are online. Start an organization. I can help you. You can email me and I'll tell you how to get started. And that way we can provide prostheses for people who don't have them right now, mostly cancer patients.
Well, I'm happy to hold these.
Enjoy the knockers, Chris.
Thank you so much.
We've got some children's programming coming up next, and then the Today Show at 8, followed by 11 Live Weekend Morning News at 9. We hope to see you back.
Downtown Macon is now home to a new coffee shop.
Today, Taste and See Coffee on Poplar Street held its grand opening. Owner Kevin Reeves and Brian Nichols say they wanted to bring something distinctive to the area. Of course, you can grab a cup of joe, but you'll also see photography lining the walls. The work of Reeves is also a photographer.
There are also 4 loft apartments above Taste and See. The owners say they want to cater to the downtown business community and college students.
Looking forward to serving, making it Middle Georgia and offering something unique. And we think that when people try our coffees and drinks and desserts, they'll fall in love with it like we did.
Taste and See is at 546 Poplar Street. Looks like a nice place, a good day for a cup of coffee.
Did you say desserts?
I think you did.
Michaela, Oprah says the use of the N-word depends on the context of the time in which you were raised, but you feel like this word is now a totally different word. Explain.
No, I feel like different generations see it as a totally different word. And I feel like this word particularly really articulates a generational divide. When, Rachel Gentile made it very clear during the Trayvon Martin case how she and her friends felt about this word was very different from those of us that have a historic and a different emotional attachment to the word. So I recognize this generation seeing this as two entirely different words. And I also recognize their perhaps sense of pride and some bit of pleasure in having power over a word that they know that they can say that white people can't say. So it's a very complex, no other word in our language has been this loaded. And we've seen Black youth culture take words that were negative and turn them around, like dope, ill, and gangster are 3 of my favorite words to explain something that is good. So we have this as a historic...
We all know what that is all about.
All right, well.
Another Pauline shit.
Mm-hmm.
But Oprah's black, ain't she?
Yes.
It's okay for her to say.
I noticed that all these people that are these intellectual geniuses, these so-called smart people, all want to look like Albert Einstein with all that hair. There's another professor, the one with the black glasses
and the scarf, Cornel West.
Yeah, Cornel West. And there's another professor that walks around. He's a white dude, and he's got all his hair up like this, and he looks like he should be like a banker, but he's got all his hair like that. And then you got her. What the hell is it? Does that mean that old bald people are stupid?
No, that just basically mean they just don't have time for combing their hair. It's like, look, I'd just rather use my hair for thinking than for grooming. But that's a whole other story.
I don't get it. I really don't. I don't get it. She needs a new hairstyle. Looks terrible. Looks like she rolled out of bed and went to that interview.
Well, a lot of people say that maybe it's good to have natural hair. A lot more African American women are going with the hair, natural hair, because it seems to be, unless you've seen that movie, documentary that Chris Rock made a couple of years back called Good Hair, where they actually had like lye stuff, hair relaxer. Yeah. And how powerful it is to kink out the nappy hair and make it straight. It actually shown a freaking empty Coke can and how it stayed in there way a little bit too longer than normal, and it just ate away at that can, aluminum can. Now imagine putting that on your scalp. You mean to tell me that's not going to have any type of chemical reaction?
Dandruff.
Yeah, beyond that, I wouldn't be surprised it makes some people bipolar to an extent. You have all them chemicals seeping in you, putting it all in your scalp and stuff. Like say you do it like twice or 3 times a month or something like that, and and that's not gonna it's not gonna seep into your skull and into your brain. It's
into your brain, not gonna. You never know. Brainless people. Ed, do you have any pictures of people with bad the hair jobs? Just thought of that. Why not? Major dandruff. That's right. Well, we're back, by the way.
It's 10:12 a.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time. Yes, it's we're live from the doghouse. We're watching the morning roast with Irv, Ed, and DB right here. It's 73 degrees in Macon, Georgia, with a high of 84 and a low of 72. I don't have no little sunshine pictures on my 5-day forecast.
No, they're all pretty much...
it's raining all week.
Rain. And we're going to rein in some of these people and say hello to everybody. Because, what the hell? We got nothing else to do.
Yeah.
And so good morning, Michelle Stacy, Rosalind Nicole, Yurek Wildcat, Hydroponic is on, Plastic Canvas, Emo Masturbator, I guess, or Horny Boy, Jay Close to You, Lady K1, Lord of Likens, Master Meatball is in the house, Michelle Fat, Mystic Shitter, Rocco, Smell My Finger, Snowbox, Tattoo 89, Titan, Uranus, Topher, Volpa by 2, Boston Chickie, Circuits, and Rudy 4. Welcome all.
Woo, boy.
Wow. You guys are fabulous when it comes to making up names.
Yeah, very, 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 very creative, clever.
Yeah, very
nasty, but clever.
Yeah. Unfreaking believable. It's a
Man.
long list of people. We're number 1 right now. Thank you, folks.
Thank you very much. Thank you for keeping us
Appreciate it.
number 1.
And welcome back, Michelle. Michelle is going to be coming in from now on, I guess, for a while at 10 o'clock. So you and Rosin can team up and come in at the same time.
Yes, that'd be great.
Both show up late. Tattoo 89, welcome. Did I miss you? Maybe I did. Where the hell are you? I don't even see your name showing.
Okay. So you're gonna be you're gonna get a brand new job, a brand new promotion,
Oh, there she is.
Roz.
All right. There you go. There you go. Welcome to our show, Tattoo 89.
Okay.
And by the way, there's these new shows called Bad Tattoo and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And somewhat interesting to look
So I
at.
see you've been checking out your cable TV.
Yeah, why the hell not? I'm paying for it. Shit, I might as well watch the crap that's on there.
Yes, yes.
I will say this though, it's just as boring as I thought it was going to be, and believe it or not, I started watching those stories that used to be on E about like Vivian Vance and her horror show.
True Hollywood Stories.
True Hollywood Stories.
Yeah.
Mysteries behind some shit. I didn't know Vivian Vance had mental illness. You know, for those of you that don't know Vivian Vance, she was Ethel Mertz on I Love Lucy.
She played Lucy's best friend.
She had a major mental bipolar disorder that no one knew much about. And also, Lucy gave her a hard time. She didn't want her to look that pretty. And she also hated William Frawley. Vivian Vance. I mean, you learn so much from these stories, you know.
Wow, that's something. That's really something.
And I didn't know that Sal Mineo was gay.
Sal Mineo?
Sal Mineo, yeah.
Sal Mineo, yeah. Oh, yeah. He played, the Latino best friend of James Dean in Rebel Without a Cause? That
Now,
guy?
wasn't he in Dog Day Afternoon?
Oh, no. I didn't think he was still alive at that time.
He died in 76.
Okay, and Dog Day Afternoon came out in 75.
72.
Okay, let me see.
Yeah, why don't you check that?
Research that, Derek.
But I didn't know that because I was there when they were filming Dog Day Afternoon. Actually, when you look at the camera when he's yelling Attica, you'll see me for about 3 seconds.
Yes. Dog Day Afternoon, release date of September 21st,
1975. Okay. Well, he died in 76.
Okay.
Well, and the thing is, you want to look at the credits and see if he was on there because for some reason I thought Sal Mineo was in Dog Day Afternoon, and I thought it was that bald-headed guy that gets shot in the head, who was also in The Godfather.
Talking about John Cazale, the one who played Fredo, right?
The one that played Sal Mineo's sidekick. I mean, Al Pacino's sidekick in Dog Day Afternoon.
Yeah, John Cazale.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Which is kind of funny that you mentioned it, about John Cazale. He was also nominated for playing the role of Fredo in The Godfather 2. And he is like one... I mean, this guy...
Yeah, there he is.
He didn't play in that many movies.
Is he dead?
Yeah. He's been dead since 1978.
Wow.
He's the only actor we know in history where he only been in 5 movies, but all of them he's either won or nominated for Best Picture.
Yeah.
Basically, he was as we know 3 out of the 5 was nominated for Best Picture, or won. Basically, Godfather 1 and 2. Dog Day Afternoon was nominated, and also I think The Deer Hunter was nominated. Also, so basically he was in at least in 4 movies, or I think I'm trying to figure out the 5th. Oh yeah, The Conversation. The Conversation, that was 1974. That was also nominated. Okay. So he was only been in 5 movies, but every one of those movies he was nominated. All those 5 movies were nominated for Best Picture. Either they were nominated or they won. So that's one heck of a track record. Yeah.
That is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
My God, is that cat for real or is that fake? Oh my Lord. I love it, Ed. By the way, Vorp, you're right. Ed has a better way and better stuff on his hard drive. You're right. Actually, Ed, I was thinking about this last night. What happened with Matinee? Are you going to continue that, or did you stop that? Did you kill it?
Yeah.
No. I thought it was fun.
Nah, I don't.
Anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
I got more important things to do.
Anyway,
I might start my own show though.
By the way, going international now, Egypt.
Mm-hmm.
America's having a hard time now. All of a sudden, out of the blue, they're realizing that being quiet and tempered is not a good idea.
I got a video.
And Egyptian's military leader says the army will not stand by silently watching the destruction of the country and the people. General Abdel Fattah el-Sisi. No more violence will be tolerated. Following days of unrest that left hundreds dead.
I got a video.
Okay.
Okay.
Ready?
Ready.
Go. Bring on the video, baby.
How are you and your family doing? I know your brother left behind a wife and 2 beautiful children.
It's been a very difficult week with what's happening in Egypt, and with my brother. It's been like a roller coaster, but we're holding up.
Must be especially hard since you were in Egypt for what should have been a very happy occasion, a family wedding. What were the circumstances around your brother's shooting? Because I know you tweeted he was unarmed and he was fasting.
That's right, Wolf. I was actually in town in Cairo to attend another brother's wedding, and we were celebrating on Monday. 2 days later, my brother was shot and killed by what we believe to be police snipers in Rabat Square. My brother, Amir, who's an accountant in Egypt, had been participating in the sit-in protest in Rabat Square for about a month now, especially in the evenings. He would go to work during the daytime, but in the evenings he would actually go and spend his time in Rabat Square. And on Wednesday morning, he had been in Rabat Square since 6 in the morning, and the crackdown and the attempt to clear out the protest by the police started about that time, 6:30 or 7, when he was there. He actually went up, and his wife last saw him at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. He had already sustained some sort of damage, and says it was fierce out there, but there's a lot of women and children, and he felt obligated to go back and help those people that were getting wounded, and he felt that he would betray them if he stayed upstairs in the comfort of his home. So he went back down. About an hour later, he actually got shot by a bullet that went through his neck and out his back and killed him instantly. We didn't actually find out about that until later that night. So there's a lot of, for a long period of time, we didn't know what was happening. Many people are dying. It's just the site that I saw yesterday, it was like a war zone in that mosque, and that was just one location. 300 bodies. Many of them are women. Many of them are young people. Many of them are just charred. They're like charcoal, and I'd never seen that much violence before. And this wasn't an external fight. This was the Egyptian police and military killing its own people. It wasn't like an external enemy. This was not Israel. I mean, the joke now or the comment that you hear around Egypt is even, the Israelis, who are historically used to be enemies with the Egyptians. Of course, they have a peace treaty now. The Israelis don't even do that to Palestinians. But you have supposedly Egyptians doing that to other Egyptians. It's just very disturbing.
Ahmed Badir, thank you so much for joining us during this very
Not that shit, man. The police.
All righty, well, there you have it.
Toasting people.
It's scary, man. It's a scary situation.
Chaotic world we live in.
Very chaotic.
And that's why we have to always go back to God.
That's why we can't give up our guns.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We gotta protect ourselves from the people that are supposed to protect us.
Okay,
and thanks for Coffee Guy coming in. Thanks for coming in.
Hey, Coffee Guy's in. Hey, Coffee Guy, what's up, buddy? You're here just in time.
How about those football? How about the football games that's going on? Well, yeah, as you were saying.
You're just in time, pal.
Just in time.
Where is he? I don't see him. Oh, there he is.
Yeah,
right on the end.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, calling on Jesus. That's right, baby. And today, for August 19th, our daily bread, August 19th, 2013, it's called The Gift of Remembering. The Gift of Remembering, and it's written by Randy Kilgore. Ed. During seminary, I worked in a nursing home. This is the writer, of course. As I spent time talking to these men and women, at some point, nearly every patient would describe the loneliness of their present lives and the realization that they were outliving their peers. Most wondered if anyone would remember them when they passed from this life. It isn't just the elderly who can feel lonely and forgotten. In fact, many of us feel trapped and even alone, set aside by circumstances fair and unfair. Sometimes we even experience what the Old Testament character Joseph did. People failing to remember us when there's every reason they should. Genesis 40 describes Joseph's experiences as he's trapped in prison. The cupbearer had been freed and returned to King's servant, just as Joseph told him would happen. Verse 9 and 13. Joseph had asked to be mentioned to Pharaoh, but the cupbearer forgot him. Verse 14 and 23. We may feel forgotten, yet like Joseph, we are not. Chapter 42, verse 9 through 13. Jesus sits at the right hand of God, and our prayers reach the throne of the King without fail, because our Savior is our mediator. When we feel alone, let's remember to rest in the confidence of Jesus' promise to be with us forever. Matthew 28, verse 20. Lord, let me be found serving others as Joseph did in those hours when I feel most forgotten. May I never be the cupbearer who fails to bring the lonely and hurting to your attention in prayer. Jesus never abandons or forgets his own. And the Bible read is Genesis chapter 40, verse 1 through 23. Yet the chief butler did not remember Joseph. A cupbearer is also a butler, but forgot.
Genesis 40, 23.
Yeah. There you have it.
There you have it.
The gifts of remembering. Don't forget. Don't forget each other either. You know, sometimes we forget that people have emotions and feelings, and we don't pay attention. We don't even pay attention to God half the time. Never mind paying attention to each other. Sometimes it's nice. You know, this is why I love like Plastic Canvas. Plastic Canvas on Facebook is one of the sweetest, most one of the sweetest, most honorable people. She gets on, she asks me how I'm doing, she sends me messages. I mean, it's really nice. I honestly, I really feel like she's like a real friend. Because she doesn't forget. You know, even when we're not on the show, she reaches out, and I appreciate that from her very much. So there's a person right there that we ought to all learn from. Classic Campus. Yeah.
Shouldn't ban anybody. Emo masturbator. Emo masturbator. Jesus, where'd you get that name from?
Emo. She
right
doesn't ban anybody.
Yeah, that's
Emo.
Yeah, that person doesn't have any issues.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Emo masturbator. I love that name.
Wow.
All right, well, I'm the master. Yes, you're the masturbator. I had a fish, a beta fish called masturbator. Remember I told you that?
Oh, really?
I had dark beta, which was like a bluish, dark blue beta fish. I had a white beta.
What happened to them?
And they killed each other. They died. Yeah.
Figures.
You can't put them together. They kill each other.
Living with you.
And I had master beta.
Living with you.
Which is a
see
red
why
one.
they killed themselves.
They had a duel.
Yeah, exactly. Emo, don't pet the sweaty stuff. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, this. You know, speaking of
Lumpy
serving,
cheeseburger is on. Hello, Lumpy.
You know, speaking of serving, it seems like a lot of service has been in the headlines right now. As
that
you can
Butler?
tell, yeah, The Butler, Lee Daniels, The Butler is the #1 movie this weekend.
Or the cupbearer to the president.
Yes.
How many presidents? 8.
You ready?
Yes.
Yeah.
You ready?
Oh yeah, ready.
We got a film.
Time now for our Sunday Spotlight. If you're one of the moviegoers who drove The Butler to the top of the box office this weekend, you saw a remarkable story inspired by the late White House butler Eugene Allen, which inspired us to find Bill Hamilton, who just retired after an astounding 55 years in the White House, serving 11 presidents. ABC's Rena Ninan has his story.
We have no tolerance for politics at the White House. You hear nothing, you see nothing.
They done swore him to some kind of secret code.
In the new movie The Butler, Hollywood highlights the life of Eugene Allen, one of the men who served the first family behind the scenes.
When the president come in, it doesn't make a difference whether he's Democrat or Republican. You're there for the president.
It's a life Bill Hamilton can relate to. While not featured in the film, he's been working here since he was just 20, retiring at age 75 this past summer. An incredible half-century in the home of the most powerful man in the country.
This is a part of history. Nixon resigned from the presidency. That was a hard time, and I didn't think I would be that when the president was assassinated happened. And to get the first black president, I didn't think I would have happened in my lifetime.
Hamilton has served every president, from Eisenhower to Obama, working as the head storekeeper, part of the residence staff.
What are some of the items that have been popular among presidents over the years?
Oh, I don't know. Well, Clinton loved beef and hamburgers and stuff. And I know 41 didn't like broccoli. Broccoli could not be served at the White House. And Mrs. Reagan, she loved calf lip.
Small moments, and then there were significant ones too.
March on Washington, Martin Luther King, they say, we can't go out there, you're going to lose your job. I said, you won't lose your job. So I went out to listen to his speech. It was really, really thrilling.
One of Hamilton's proudest moments came during the most painful periods in American history.
What was it like being a black man in the White House during the Civil Rights Movement?
Oh, it was very hard. They were promoting other people and wasn't promoting the blacks.
So Hamilton gave the Johnson White House an ultimatum on behalf of the black butler staff. They wanted more pay or they wouldn't work at a state dinner.
We're not going to work the state dinner. This is the only way we're going to get a raise. 2 days later, we had our raise.
As one of the lead characters in The Butler, Oprah Winfrey was awed by their courage.
Most people, when you hear the term butler, you think of a servant, you think of subservient, bowing down. The grace and nobility that it took to do that, to hold your head up every day. I just have a greater sense of pride for those men and that time.
A time Hamilton says he'll never forget. 5 decades of White House memories including a heartfelt farewell from the Obamas.
Is there anything that you feel you're going to regret that will happen at the White House that you wish you were still there for?
Yeah, Miss Clinton was the win. First female president, just worked for him.
What do you think about Bill Clinton being First Lady?
He gonna be telling a bunch of jokes. I'm trying to figure out how he gonna host the Senate Women's Luncheon.
For This Week, Rena Ninen, ABC News, Washington.
What?
Yes, that was the great report earlier on this week with George Stephanopoulos, which was reported by the very talented and lovely Ms. Rena Ninen.
There you go. Wow. By the way, both those are ugly as hell. Couldn't hire a good-looking butler?
He probably was 50 years ago.
That guy is horrible looking, and then you look at the real one, he's even worse.
Well, time and the elements gonna have an effect on you, man. I mean, 50 years.
You gotta hang around me. I want you to be good looking. Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, there's a good butler right there. There's a maid.
G. Monetti, boy. That's.
I wonder how you get that hat on, Ed. It's amazing how he does that.
Ugh.
Magic. My secret.
Quite amazing. Yeah, it must take a lot of enormous inner strength, Rudy, for. Yeah.
Yes.
Plus, you get a lot of free lunch.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, you get to eat all the time. And
he worked, as for the story, he actually worked with the actual butler, as portrayed in the movie Lee Daniels' The Butler.
So what was he, the butler's butler?
He was one of the staff people. He was one who worked with them, He, basically got to prepare the food and all the stuff, get the menu listed, that type of stuff. And, as reported by Miss Rena Ninen, it was very good, very beautiful reporter, by the way.
Yeah.
It really has a really good story behind it. It's which I'm still trying to figure out which. This is around the same time. Like, remember the movie that came out like about last year or year before last. I'm still trying to figure out how in the world, it's like Viola Davis. She was a great. Oh, okay. See, made me lose my train of thought. Thanks, Ed. Yes. I'm still trying to figure out. I mean, when you're a butler, especially when you're in the White House, you're going to be in your best effort. You're going to be articulate as you can be, even if you are in that type of situation. The thing is, it's just so weird. Forrest Whitaker's character was a butler. He was so suave and polished, but yet Viola Davis's character in The Help, she was like, you is kind, you is smart. Like, really? I mean, it's 1962, 1963. You speaking broken English? I mean, they don't have a library, and yet, Django Unchained, Jamie Foxx, who was a slave when it was illegal for
and he spoke perfect English.
Yeah, he spoke perfect English. Like, what's wrong with this picture here?
It's called movies. It's called Hollywood. It's called bullshit. It's Okay. I bet you the Django or whatever his name was, if he existed. Did he exist?
I doubt it.
I doubt it.
Because it was based on, it was loosely based on an Italian movie, according to Anthony. An Italian Western, I should say.
Wow.
But it was really...
It was a good flick, by the way. I enjoyed it. I think I saw it like 3 times already.
Oh, yeah, I did too.
I could see that movie.
Yeah, it was
kind of get off on the idea that he took vengeance.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
It wasn't a sucking. I mean, it wasn't a sucking movie. I mean, it was definitely entertaining. Definitely filled the seats. That's for sure. I made 150 million, stateside. So hey, what can you do?
Bouchon, Deep Throat Bananas. Oh, yes. I like this.
As I said, for the weekend, the Lee Daniels, The Butler, the movie starring Oprah Winfrey, Oscar winner Forrest Whitaker, and the great talented British actor David Oyelowo, was the #1 movie this weekend with $25 million. Number 2 was We're the Millers by Warner Brothers Pictures. It made $17.7 million, grossing its total box office rush to just under $70 million. Elysium, which was last week's #1 film, the Matt Damon movie, sci-fi film, is in 3rd place with $13.6 million. Kick-Ass 2, the movie featuring Jim Carrey, opened up at 4th place, not so good of an opening. It opened up in 4th place, but it did make $13.5 million.
Yeah, give it to me. I'll use it.
Yeah, Planes. It was last week's 3rd place movie. The Disney.
That was Jennifer Aniston?
No, that's a whole other movie.
Oh.
Yeah, Planes was in 5th place, made $13.1 million. It made $45 million total so far. Percy Jackson, Sea of Monsters was in 6th place with $8.3 million, edging up its movie gross up to $39 million, almost nearly $39 million.
Mm-hmm.
Jobs, the movie depicting the late founder of Apple Computers, Steve Jobs, starring in the title role by Ashton Kutcher, wasn't as good as people planned. It debuted in 7th place with $6.7 million.
I can't stand Ashton Kutcher.
Yeah, Two Guns, the Denzel Washington Mark Wahlberg film, made 5.5, is in 8th place, making its total box office of $59.2 million, just under $60 million. The Smurfs 2 is in 9th place with $4.6 million grossing this weekend. And rounding out the top 10 is The Wolverine, Hugh Jackman's depiction
Which is surprising. You would think that would be the one to make a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
But what's making a lot of money is this movie about a butler.
Yeah. Well, The Wolverine, it's been in theaters for a long time. It's been for a good 6-7 weeks.
No.
So it made $4.4 million.
The Butler just came out,
Yeah,
right?
it just came out. And Wolverine is $4.4 million. It has a total of $120 million plus so far that is made.
Aniston plays a stripper in The Millers. Yeah, really.
Mm-hmm.
Her ex-husband can go and look at it.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's very proud of her.
Yeah, I'm sure he is. Definitely.
I can't believe that happened between Brad Pitt and Jennifer Aniston.
Oh, yeah.
Played it dirty. Mr. and Mrs. Black, what was it called? The movie?
Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Yeah, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Speaking of some other entertainment news, some stuff about Robin Thicke. That's Alan Thicke's son,
Yeah, Robin Thicke.
Guy, Robin Thicke, yeah. Robin Thicke is countersuits to protect blurred lines from Marvin Gaye's family. It says that a lawsuit was filed Thursday in a federal court, California federal court, by the trio, Robin Thicke, Pharrell Williams, and Clifford Harris Jr., against Marvin Gaye's family and Bridgeport's Music, which owns some of Funkadelic's compositions. At issue are complaints that the similarities between Blurred Lines and at least 2 songs. According to the suit, a copy of which was obtained by The Hollywood Reporter, plaintiffs, quote, plaintiffs who have the utmost respect for and admiration of Marvin Gaye, Funkadelic, and their musical legacies, reluctantly filed this action in the face of multiple adverse claims that alleged successors in interest to those artists. Defendants continue to insist that plaintiffs' massively successful composition Blurred Lines copies their compositions. It says the suit claims that the Marvin Gaye family is alleging that Blurred Lines, which is like the #1 hit right now on the radio.
What is that about? Is that a song?
Yeah, the song Blurred Lines is playing in the radio stations, particularly in pop and R&B. Basically saying that Blurred Lines, Robin Thicke's new current hit song, and Marvin Gaye's Got to Give It Up feel or sound the same, according to the lawsuit, and that Gaye defendants are claiming ownership of an entire genre as opposed to a specific work. As for Parliament Funkadelic or just Funkadelic, there's said to be claimed similarity between Thicke's hit and Funkadelic's Sexy Ways. But there are no similarities between the plaintiff's composition and those the claimants allege they own other than commonplace musical elements, states the lawsuit. It says plaintiffs created a hit and did it without copying anyone else's composition. New York Times critic has noted that Blurred Lines is influenced heavily by Gaye's Got to Give It Up. But the lawsuit makes the point that being reminiscent of a sound is not copyright infringement. The intent of producing Blurred Lines was to evoke an era, according to the story. I guess those who have heard the song, what do you think about it? I think it is kind of somewhat similar.
The coffee guy says the song sounds like a Prince song. Does it?
Yeah, Kyle, you got a point. I think you got a.
I've never heard of it though.
You never heard of it?
No.
I may have.
Maybe I have, but
yeah, you may have. You just didn't know who was singing it, but
right.
We played at least 3-4 times on our way to downtown many times. But truth be told, I'm surprised the Marvin Gaye family hasn't tried to sue Justin Timberlake for his song "I'm Bringing Sexy Back." Yeah, because they have some similar elements to Marvin Gaye's "Got to Give It Up" for those who've heard that song before. That's a really classic, little summer anthem.
Well, Do you remember when he was shot and killed by his father?
Yeah.
I remember exactly where I was.
Mm-hmm.
I was in Brooklyn, New York.
I was in middle school. I was in the 9th grade.
Yeah. Oh, you were a baby. I was already, I think, messing around with somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I was over their house, and all of a sudden we went into shock.
Yeah.
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 And another guy, Reynolds, he was a television anchor, had just finished dying that week too. John Reynolds. He was the original guy that was on Nightline. The original Nightline guy.
Ted Koppel?
No, before Koppel. Nightline started a little bit before then with Frank Reynolds.
Reynolds.
Yeah.
You talking about primetime news. Okay, primetime news.
When it was Okay. When it was on at
6 o'clock.
Yeah, 6 or 7. They were doing that whole shit over in Iran.
Yeah. See, that's what I thought. See, because Nightline, they made that specially for that nighttime. Because I remember that's when I first saw Koppel on there. Because I don't remember Frank Reynolds. I do remember Koppel on it because he did the late night thing with Frank Reynolds. He did the primetime news.
Right. And Anyway. Mm-hmm. So, what else do we have? Why don't we do word origins and who said it first, and then I guess we could do trending if we have any moments left.
Okay, I'll go ahead and do that. But going back to that song, though, I'm surprised there has been so many songs that sound very, very familiar. Like, if anyone remember that song that Gwen Stefani had, that same drum beat, boom, doom, doom. Ain't no holler back girl,
Yeah.
Call me crazy, but doesn't that sound like the same drum beat that they had for Prince's song Housequake from Sign of the Times album back in '87? They sound so familiar. The same tempo, same cadence. Shut up already, damn. It's the same. I guarantee you. I mean, yeah, everybody go up and down, Housequake, brand new move, going to, I mean, it just, maybe I'm here, maybe I'm delusional.
We can do an entire show that songs that sound familiar.
Oh yeah. We probably could. We'd be here we'll be here till like 7 o'clock at night talking about that. But I guess we'll go into word origins.
Yeah, let's do word origin.
Yes. Word origins, our word for today by John Ato is cutlass. Cutlass.
Cutlass supreme.
Yes, appropriate as the name sounds. Cutlass has no etymological connection with cut. It comes from Old French coutelas or coutelas, Cutelas, a derivative of denoting large size of coutel, knife. This in turn goes back to Latin cultellus, Cultellus, a diminutive of coulter, knife, plowshare, a source of English coulter, Old English, and cutler, whence cutlery. That's very instructive. So it doesn't have anything to do with the...
And Vogelbach had it right. He said cutlass is a thick-bladed sword.
Yeah, thick-bladed sword. Okay, a cutlass. So it has anything to do with a sedan, right?
I wonder if that's where they got the name, though, Cutlass Supreme, because it's like a sword running through...
I guess, maybe.
Aerodynamic, whatever.
Yeah, you got a point. Yeah, cut the wind, yeah.
Thank you, hydroponic.
Oldsmobile Cutlass.
Earth for president.
Yes,
Why not?
Oldsmobile Cutlass.
President of On.
Not a bad, yeah, very good car of the 70s, by the way.
It was, but I hear, didn't the police use that car for a while?
Yeah.
And cab drivers in New York.
Yeah, they did, and then over here, then they switched to like Crown Victorias.
Yeah.
Over here.
And now they have
Dodge.
They have minivans now in New York.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh well. I used to like to check a cab.
Okay.
Yeah, 1970 Cutlass. Those are probably like the last of the good ones. Because, coming out of the 60s, cars were still kind of decent. 70s, 80s, ugh.
Oh yeah, they were terrible. I mean,
they went
with the exception of the Trans Am, Firebird, and the Camaro. Most of those cars kind of suck, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah, Coffee Guy says Lady Cab Driver was a great song.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Lady Cab Driver.
Yeah, the Titan Uranus. The checker cabs were like no other. You went into the back and they had these little seats that popped up, so you can sit like 4 in the back,
right?
Plus an extra 2 in these little seats that used to pop up. Yeah.
Goodness gracious! I'm sorry that you had to unfriend somebody. I mean,
what's my favorite muscle car? What's your favorite muscle car?
Goodness, I pretty much I would have to say the Mustang because they still make them.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
I love the Mustang.
Yeah.
I mean, there's plenty more besides. I mean, you have the Trans Am, Pontiac Firebird. Then you have the Corvette. Would that be a muscle car? I guess.
Yeah.
Well, power wise, yeah. Speed wise, then you have Pontiac GTO. Then Dodge Challenger and the Dodge Challenger, Dodge Charger. And
the Pinto.
No, definitely not a Pinto. No
and
Pinto.
the Yugo.
Maybe in Yugoslavia, but a muscle car. But
remember those cars? They had that. They had another one that they made it. Just a few of them. What was it called? It was with a B. I'm trying to remember the name of it.
No, it wasn't Sap.
Sports car.
It was the Bel Air. Was it the Bel Air?
No.
One of those.
Barracuda?
Yeah, that's it. Barracuda. That was another one. Yeah.
Pinto is Gremlin, yeah. Or the Gremlin.
Ooh, the GTS.
Remember the Gremlin?
How about the Matador? That was an ugly motherfucker.
What about the Vega?
Oh, well, the Vega wasn't so bad. The Vega and the Nova. The Nova seemed like they lasted forever.
Yeah, I mean,
I had Freddie put a 318 in the Vega. These pop wheelies.
Oh yeah. Man, I mean, it looked good. It just burned a whole lot of oil.
Yeah.
A whole lot.
They didn't have power steering at that time either. The Vegas, the Novas.
Yeah, that's true about that.
You turn that wheel, boy. You had to have Schwarzenegger muscles.
Oh yeah, that's a workout within itself. You didn't have to get a gym membership. But who said this first? Hot under the collar.
Hot under the collar.
Yes, it says possibly having heard the expression among the London writers he knew, expatriate American poet Ezra Pound was the first notable to mention being hot under his collar. He used the expression to John Quinn in 1918 when giving vent to his feelings about literary editors. It says, after years of this sort of pulling imbecility, one gets hot under the collar and is perhaps carried to the extreme. That's a really good one. Really, really good one.
All right, well, there you go. Hot under the collar. Whatever.
Yes, I do.
Ring around the collar. Those dirty rings.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that? Mm-hmm. You tried choking them, scrubbing them, and you still come out with... Remember those commercials? Weren't they annoying? Like a guy would go to a meeting, and somebody would like humiliate them. Go ring around the collar, ring around the collar.
Yeah, first of all, why are you looking at my
Could you imagine today? Somebody would pull out a gun and shoot your ass if you do that.
Yeah. Or somewhere near they throw some hot acid in your face and stuff like that. Because they don't carry guns, in England. I'm just...
Yeah. Could you imagine that? I can't imagine that. I can't imagine somebody doing that today.
Uh-huh.
What about the other one, the ancient Chinese secret, huh? Remember that?
Oh yeah,
Calgon?
that was ignorant. Oh yeah, that was the ignorant boy. I remember they used to have the Juan Valdez Colombian coffee. You know, this is when Colombia was known for beauty pageants and coffee. It wasn't about cocaine.
Yeah.
There was about women who was in beauty pageants, Miss Universe pageants, and coffee. That was it. Yeah. And I remember one commercial where they had this white guy says, "I'm trying to look for some, Colombian coffee, Juan Valdez." And he was in the store, he was trying to find it. He says, "Over in the aisle." And then all of a sudden he sees Juan Valdez says, "Buenos dias." And he's like,
the first thing I would have asked him is, "Where's the cocaine?"
Yeah, the cocaine. The cocaine. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, why is he pissed off? He's like looking at, he's like in the counter trying to look at, he's asking for some Colombian coffee. He says, for Juan Valdez on it. He sees Juan Valdez. I mean, and then all of a sudden you have the nerve to look upset like, how did he get his green card or something? My God. Come on, man.
What about, I mean, he wasn't as bad as Mr. Whipple.
Don't squeeze the Charmin?
Yeah, don't squeeze the Charmin. Wasn't that like an asinine commercial where people going like, they're getting like, it just wasn't right. It just didn't seem right. Like,
you mean like squeezing the Charmin? Because it's toilet paper. It's toilet paper instead of it's supposed to symbolize a butt. Is that what you're trying to say? Yeah. The Charmin's supposed to symbolize someone's behind. Yeah, okay. Kind of reaching, but I can see that.
Let me see. ATT says I can see some point at Irv and saying a ring around the collar, then Irv saying pain in the ball side, then kicks them in the ball. Okay. ATT, you got a good imagination.
Wow.
Corny as shit, but hey.
Speaking of squeezing some Charmin or something else, here's a wing dang doodle for you to hold you over. A woman holds 2 men hostage in her house until one has sex with her.
Poor guys.
Yeah. Yeah, a woman in Wisconsin held 2 men hostage until one of them will have sex with her.
Wow.
Yes, you read it correctly.
Talk about desperate.
Yes, very desperate. The woman is 52-year-old Terry L. Boyd. One of her neighbors called 911 and let...
Hell no, she wasn't pretty.
3:50 a.m. No. That woman's got a face for radio, as you can see.
Even the mother would hate her.
Ugh. Budweiser don't make enough beer to get me that drunk. Anyway, one of her neighbors called 911 at 3:50 a.m. Monday morning after they heard a man in her home screaming for help. When officers arrived at the home, Boyd tried to block the doors. Police had to force their way into the house. The 2 men were held in the home, said Boyd would not let them leave until one of them would have sex with her. After they were rescued by the policemen, they decided not to press charges. Bump that, I'll be pressing charges like a son. How dare you make me see with this ugly As reported by News4Jax, one of the victims tells investigators that the suspect is not a bad person, but called police because they didn't want anyone to get hurt. Both the man and the police say that Boyd's medication had recently been changed. After police left her home, Boyd tried claiming that the officers had beaten her up. Right. Boyd was taken to the hospital in an ambulance. While there, she apparently was violent with medical workers. As a result, Miss Boyd was arrested right there at the hospital. Boyd is currently facing charges of false imprisonment, obstructing an officer, disorderly conduct, and bail jumping. Her court date is set for September 5th.
Wow.
Man.
Well, that woman was definitely desperate.
Oh, yeah, she was thirsty. Oh, yeah, she was really thirsty.
Thirsty for love.
Oh, yes.
At the barrel of a gun.
Wow. What can you say?
That would constitute rape, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
How come they don't call it that?
Because first they say if a woman rapes a man, it's not it's not really rape. Yeah, you don't rape the willing. Yeah, but I'm sorry if you ugly. I'm sorry. I'm pressing charges like a son of a gun. I'm for real.
There she is.
Ew.
Yeah. God.
Oh my.
That show is terrible.
Yeah, that would give you nightmares right there.
Anyway,
Most
what else
definitely.
is in the news, Derek, before we head out of here? We got 3 minutes, and we got plenty of people to say goodbye to today. Look at that shit.
Oh yeah, a lot. We
are-
had something recent. I guess this was breaking
We
news.
got a full house.
The breaking news in this is from Chicago, actually. A 7-year-old boy was shot on the front porch of his home last night on Sunday at West Garfield Park. CBS 2's Susanna Song reports that the boy was walking his bicycle into the house when shots rang out and he was wounded. It said it happened around 9 p.m. in the 4200 block of West 5th Avenue. Witnesses heard at least 2 shots. I guess one of the neighbor, Lavelle Tubbs, said that me and my cousin was coming up the block and we heard the gunshots, and by the time we got right here to the corner, we heard everybody on the porch screaming. We saw the little boy laying on the porch. Says police said it appears the gunman was firing at a passing car and the boy was not the intended victim. The boy was shot in the arm. He was taken to Mount Sinai Hospital and was released by early this morning today. So witnesses said the shooter ran away through the courtyard of Charles Sumner and Math and Science Community Academy Elementary School across the street from the boy's home. Neighbors said that the area is relatively safe. So far, no one was in custody for the shooting, so far as we know. But hopefully the little kid is okay and he's recuperating safely. So just my hearts go out to the people over in Chicago, because Chicago is known for having, really serious crime problems over there.
Wow. Well, there we go.
How about that?
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
How about that?
Well, we come to the end of our show.
Yeah.
For Monday. Not too bad.
Yeah, not too bad at all.
It went pretty smooth, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
Yeah, I just want to say...
everybody was behaving.
Yeah.
You haven't been reading the chat?
Yeah. You know what?
Compared to last week.
Compared to last week, this was easy going.
Well, compared to last week, this is kind of passive.
I mean, I know that Michelle has been putting up with a lot. She's a real trooper.
Mm-hmm.
And, she puts up with a lot of abuse. But she knows how to handle herself.
Mm-hmm.
So, whatever.
Most definitely.
But, once again, why don't you say goodbye to our viewers? Give us the weather and then say goodbye.
Oh, yeah. Most definitely.
Say good night, Dick.
Good night, Dick. But we'll go for next is the weather. It's 73 degrees right outside of Macon, Georgia. It's cloudy with some upcoming rainstorms and thunderstorms. High of 84 and a low of 72. There is a flash flood watch within mid-state of Georgia, which will be on until tonight at midnight. Thank you very much. I want to thank all the people who can thank me and tell me to get better this past weekend, this past Friday show.
Yeah, that's cool.
Thank you very much.
People love you,
for
Derek.
supporting. Also want to say thanks for all our chatters, Michelle Stacy and Rosalind Nicole, Uric Wildcat, Hydroponic, Plastic Canvas, ATT, Do Not Pass, Fluffy Donkeys, Harry Beavers, Horny Boy, Ireland's Patriot, Jesse 13 1955, Lumpy Cheeseburger, Michelle Fat, Mr. Mike, Real Man Pawns, Scorpio Pio, Shorty Brave 72, Smell My Finger, Snow Sparks, Titan Uranus, Topher, Vorpalbite, Boston Chicky, John Panda, and the Coffee Guy.
The Coffee Guy's still hanging around. Thank you, Coffee Guy, for coming in. Also, we want to say thank you to Saibuki. We had DS Photo Guy on for a while.
Mm-hmm.
We had Mystic on, and we had Lady K on.
Yes, Lady K definitely.
And
definitely
some
coming
other
in.
people. Thank you, Hydroponic. I'm glad that you consider me, that you're a good friend of mine.
Thank you. I
really appreciate it.
Appreciate your time, and like a mummy, it is a wrap. We'll see you tomorrow for Tuesday. As on behalf of Irv and Ed, this is DB saying, can you smell what the roast is brewing? We'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah. Bye, Lumpy.
Yeah. Dirty Birds, go Falcons! Go Falcons! Yeah. Dirty Birds, go Falcons! Go Falcons!
Micah, Mommy, it's a wrap.